All right, what's going on, everybody? Who we 186 back again with another video. This is the Overrated Podcast, episode 65. Who we 186 here, and with me is Traditionalist 101.
The Traditionalist 101 is here in the house. You know how it is, ladies and gentlemen. In order for society to work, we have to hold on to tradition. But anyway, this is another podcast we're doing, and we have a few topics, not much. So this probably might be a short podcast. We'll see. But other than that, your weekend, was it good? Did it suck? I'm pretty sure all you did was work. How was it?
All I do is work.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Must be fun, right? Must be fun.
Yeah.
Such a fantastic
As
weekend.
long as the check clears.
As long as what now?
As long as the check clears.
Oh yeah, of course. If the check is good, then yeah, everything's okay. Yeah, mine was pretty good. All I really did was just spend time with family, and I pretty much rested because my body was really tired. I was a little exhausted, so all I did was just rest, watch some games, and Sunday was well, I should say half and half. At least one of my teams won, which I was really happy about. Um, and I'm sure you're happy with what you saw on Sunday as well. Do you want to just start with the NFL, or you want to just talk about a bunch of other stuff?
There's really nothing much to talk about. I'm happy Tua's back. He looked healthy. Looked a little rusty, but shout out to the defense. They did their thing, and now we're back on track. Who are we playing next? I forgot. I think we might have a bye week this week, but yeah. But I'm happy that we won. It's a long time coming. So
Oh,
yeah.
and by the way, remember I told you I was going to read the Tekken book, and yeah, bro, freaking dude, it is freaking awesome. As soon as you open the page, immediately the action starts with fighting. Of course, they're introducing characters and whatnot, but my goodness, they just went at it immediately. You saw Nina, you saw Ling Xiao, you saw Paul Phoenix and Jin, and everyone is just fighting each other. So it was just awesome. But I'll keep you posted on pretty much what happened. From what I gather, it looks like they're they're starting off, at least from the comic, is starting from Tekken 7, the video game. So
Okay.
that's where the story is starting. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start looking for the other issues because I
Mhm.
really want to know the backstory from the origin, from the original, from the first story, if you know what I mean.
It frankly it kind of don't matter, because they kind of did away with in my as far as I'm and now I'm the biggest Tekken fan there is, but I can safely tell you that the story pretty much went nonsensical after round five.
Oh, I thought you said it was around four when they wasn't it four?
No, no, no. Before they went in a different direction. They obviously introduced new characters, and um they introduced a bunch of new characters. Like they were in a different arc, and then one of the criticisms of Tekken 4 was that they didn't have enough characters. So what did they do? All the characters that were gone from Tekken 2, they just brought them back from Tekken 5,
Yeah.
which as a game made for a much better game, but for a story just kind of just made everything just make no sense after it. So
Mm-hmm.
so
All right. Yeah, yeah. So, uh, if do you think so? You think they made the wrong decision by bringing the characters back?
no, I mean, if it works for a business standpoint, then that's what matters. But I stopped taking the story seriously after that.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, but I mean,
Well,
I'm glad the comic. I'm glad you're liking the comic book, so that's good.
yeah. And even though you say you are a great Tekken fan, you're still not going to read it if I gave it to you.
Uh, no,
Uh,
no,
yeah, I
no.
know. I know you won't because you're a big fan of that. You won't read it. You're a big fan of Street Fighter. You won't read it. And apparently, what I found out that there's actually more comics, based on video games. Like I know, I found out that Tomb Raider has a comic book series, and I can't remember. I have to look it up, but it's either God of War or Horizon. One of them have a comic started.
Horizon. I'm sure both of them do. Horizon does because I have one. Joe gave me he gave me a Horizon comic book for.
As a oh, when did he give it to you?
Oh, it was a long time ago. It was probably like I know it was pre-pandemic.
Oh, pre-print pandemic. So 2019, 18.
Yeah, around that time.
Did you read it?
I read some of it. I'm not a comic book guy. I'm not a comic book guy, but I do appreciate him giving me the book.
Oh man! All right, you know what? Give it to me. I'll read it.
It's kind of degraded now.
What does that mean?
That like the pages are kind of like worn out.
How did you do that?
No, I left it in the car in the trunk. After I read some of it, then I put it in the trunk, and then it kind of like you know.
You destroyed the comic.
I mean, I just left it in the trunk, and it started to degrade.
Does Jabanas knows about this?
I don't think so.
Oh, you're a funny guy. You're a funny guy. But I don't want to keep talking about comics because that's not what you like. Even if it's a fan of a franchise, which is and which I can't go too hard on you on that anymore because one of our other friends who's a Sonic fan, he's the exact same way. Joe gave him a comic regarding Sonic, which involves Sonic, and he didn't read it. And there was one where it was the Sonic and Mega Man crossover.
Hmm.
He didn't read that one either. So yeah, so there are people who are a fan of a certain character or story, but they're just not a fan of they just don't read the comics or the novels or the mangas. So I kind of understand to a degree.
Yeah, right. Because it's the same. It was the same way when it came to like Dragon Ball Z with the manga. Like, I don't need to read the manga. I'm sure the manga has more stuff in it, but I don't need to read the manga. I'll just watch the show. So
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. And a lot of because a lot of people would look at me and say, "Oh, well, you're not a real fan," all because I don't really buy because I don't buy action figures or statues,
Yeah, yeah.
and stuff like that, like other people do. Like I just buy the comics, I'll play the games, the movies, and posters if the poster look good, and then I'll put it in my room and stuff like that. But other than that, I'm not really a big fan of action figures and statues and stuff. So, like I said, I kind of to a degree understand where you're coming from. Like you play the game, maybe the movies. So at least you do that. So I get it.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, on that note, we might as well just start the podcast. I guess we'll tidy up some loose ends right here. Let me just say.
But before you start, I am really excited how the Jets are ahead of your Dolphins. We're ahead of you guys, and I the reason why I'm really happy about it is because, like I said before, I think I said this last week. All the crap that I had to hear from you for weeks, and it just so happened that the same team that you were talking so much crap about is ahead of your team. It's ahead of your team.
I mean,
And
you should be first of all, you should be happy. I mean, I'm glad you're happy. I guarantee you can't name five guys on your team. First of all,
well, let me tell you how you're wrong about that, because I was actually going to bring this up. Um, I am actually very very worried. I am going to be really worried about the Jets from now on, because Brees Hall is actually injured, and by him being injured, here's the thing: he's injured, but he's going to be injured for the whole entire season. The whole entire season, he's going to be injured, right? And when I found out about that, um, I'm worried that we're no longer going to have a running game, because I believe he's like either top six, or I think he's like top six or top seven in the whole entire league as far as rushing goes. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as rushing, he's up there of being one of the best rushers in the whole entire league. And now that him being gone, I don't know how well we are going to do this thing forward. You know what I'm saying? So
when
and
did you hear about Bryce Hall? When the first time you heard about him?
I heard about him before. I mean, I don't know. I
Before
mean,
as in today.
you very 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 funny, very funny, very funny.
I mean, look, I'm not gonna sit here and trash your team. They're 5-2. They shouldn't be. I didn't think they were gonna win 5 games all year. So them being 5-2, that's props to them. Props to them. But that's all I'm
No,
gonna.
no. Say what you really have to say.
No, I don't really have nothing else to say. I don't have nothing else to say. Like they're 5-2. Like it is what it is.
No, I think you're just upset because you really can't talk trash anymore.
No, I don't. Look, I don't care about the Jets. I don't care about the Jets. So I don't need to talk about them. And like I said before, like they're 5-2. I don't. What am I gonna say?
Now you
What
could
can
you
I
could
say?
be consistent and continue talking trash about them, how saying, oh, they're mediocre and all this other stuff. You can continue with that.
I mean, I would be dumb if I did. They're 5-2. What can I say?
Yeah, but it's all about consistency. Like you always, that's your favorite word, consistency. So keep talking trash about the Jets, and then, I'll debunk it ASAP. That's all.
I
Like
mean, you
I
you
dare
you
I dare
you're
you.
you're the last person. I guarantee you didn't think they were gonna be 5-2. Let's be frank. Let's be real. You had no faith in that team at the beginning of the year. To the fact that you were saying that, oh, I'm only going to concentrate on the Green Bay Packers. I know you said that before.
Yeah,
Another fraudulent team that you don't give a shit about.
I do. I look. I don't know what the heck is going on with with um with Aaron Rodgers, but like I told you, since the a few, what was it, 2 3 weeks ago, ever since Adams left, Rodgers hasn't been the same. And I this is really a hypothetical,
Mhm.
but I think that's one of the reasons why he kept on calling out all of his receivers, saying that they can't catch and all this other stuff because he didn't have anybody. He lost his his superstar, his megastar, and because of that, he didn't have anybody else to throw to. So I understand why he would talk constantly go at his team when who the hell am I going to throw the ball to? Like what am I supposed to do when you give me, you know, a bunch of guys who can't catch, a bunch of no names. So I could understand his frustration, but at the end of the day though, he hasn't been playing well. He hasn't been playing well at all. He hasn't been playing well at all. And speaking of someone who hasn't played well at all, what the hell happened to Tom Brady?
He's old. He's old. Like that's what happened to him. He's old.
I
So
mean, I mean, let
like to be honest with you, I'm actually happy that both guys are struggling. I'm very happy about that.
explain yourself.
No, I don't really have like I don't have to really explain myself. It's just I'm not a fan of Tom Brady. Even though I acknowledge his greatness, but I don't care about Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers,
You're only saying that because he kept on destroying our division. That's why. But go ahead.
that's fine. But yeah, but as far as Aaron Rodgers, I feel like I don't know, I like the fact that he's struggling too. I don't know. There's I
What?
ain't gonna lie.
Man,
So
wait, hold on. What?
yeah, I'm glad he's struggling too.
What?
Um the thing that he said about comparing the mask mandate to civil rights really turned me off to him as a person. I also think that I've always felt that he's a bit pompous, but that plus the stuff that he said, I'm good. I'm good on Aaron Rodgers. I'm glad that he's struggling.
You're glad that he's struggling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know my former boss. We always go at each other because he's a Bears fan, and he always talks about how Aaron Rodgers is a prima donna, and he always wants he's a attention seeker, this and that, and he said he can't stand Aaron Rodgers. He can't stand him at all. But at the end of the day, though, you still can't deny that he still is one of the best in the whole entire league. You
Yeah, of
can't deny
course.
that.
Not definitely not denying that.
Yeah, you can't deny that. But I know we have the topic. I know you're ready for the topic, but I need to say one last thing before we start. I need to say this one last thing before we start. When we talked about Aaron Rodgers, we talked about Tom Brady, right? And we have also an issue with Russell Wilson. And I just tweeted. I don't know if you saw my tweet. I just tweeted just a few moments ago that
Mhm.
Matt Ryan got benched.
Yeah, he did.
This dude got benched. And why did I name these quarterbacks? Why did I do that? I did that because I believe now, unfortunately, it's time for the veterans to leave and the new youngsters to take over. Because I'm seeing all the struggles, with Aaron Rodgers. I'm seeing all the crazy stuff that's happening with Tom Brady, and then obviously with his family and him, contemplating if he should retire, this and that. Freaking Russell Wilson. I mean, that team was a freaking abysmal ever since he got into that team, and now we see Matt Ryan, who freaking got benched. Hey, I'm sorry to say this, but I think it's time for the veterans to step aside and for the newcomers to take over the league. I hate saying that, but I think that's what's going to happen by next year. I think that's what's going to happen because I think Matt Ryan's going to retire. I think Tom Brady is going to retire. And as far as Russell Wilson, if he doesn't get better, he's going to get benched too. And I think Green Bay
They
is just
paid,
going
they
to get.
paid, they paid him a lot of money. Well, first, I think he's hurt right now. I don't think he played yesterday, but he's hurt.
Hmm.
Um, well, it's gonna take a lot to bench him because they paid him a lot of money to be the savior of that franchise, and you know. If he's hurt, then obviously you have to wait till he gets better. But you look at what's going on in Seattle without him.
Yes, that's the thing.
That's a bad look.
It's
And
an awkward.
Geno Smith ain't no first prize, but he's played well this year.
Yeah, yeah. I think he just needed some time to, I guess, to to work out the kinks and get better. Unfortunately, he didn't do that for us. But I'm happy for Geno Smith. I'm glad that he was able to show that he still had the game and he's not cut or anything like that. Like he's still in the league and he's actually playing well. But again, the only person that really took me by surprise was Russell Wilson. That's the one that really caught me off guard. I did not think it was that bad. What game was it? Was it Monday night
Oh,
where who was it?
Thursday.
Oh, it was Thursday when it was overtime and the fans started leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh! I but bro, never in my life have I ever seen something like that happen before. You would think when two teams are going head to head, going overtime, oh, it's extra excitement. Oh my gosh, we have an extra quarter. People were leaving. When you see a sight like that, dude, I'm sorry. How is it justified for them to continue to keep Russell Wilson if he's part of the problem while they're losing? I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to say, man. But am I taking it too far by saying that the youngsters should take over?
I mean, every team's different. So in the case of Matt Ryan, like everyone knew that dude was not good anymore. And Indianapolis, who when they got rid of Carson Wentz, who justifiably because he stunk.
Oh yeah,
They,
he's another one. I forgot to mention him. He's another one.
he stunk. So they decided to get rid of him to get Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean they get what they deserve. Like they get what they deserve. So I don't feel bad for Colts fans. They can go fuck themselves. Um,
Dude, what's your problem?
no, okay. I'm always reminded of how they treated Andrew Luck when he left, when he retired, and the reason why he retired was because he was always getting his ass kicked out there, and even with that, they were good. And what did the Indianapolis Colts fans treat him with? They booed him. So it's like, or now you have to watch. Now you had to watch Carson Wentz and Matt Ryan and some guy no one's ever heard of quarterback your team. That's what you guys get. Have fun with that. So
Well,
uh, as far as Russell, like I said, Russell Wilson is going to take a lot to bench him. As
mhm.
far as Tom Brady should have already retired. Aaron Rodgers is interesting because I don't think he definitely hasn't been good.
Mhm.
But I also think that he has no talent. He don't have any real skill players around him. But this
Yeah.
is what he's been dealing with his entire career, and he was able to be at least decent. So
Well, I don't want to say his entire career because he had guys like we mentioned Adams. He had Donald Driver who was I think who was a really good wide receiver. He had crap, forgot that white dude's name. I can't remember. But he
I
had
don't know who you're talking about. But Jordy Nelson.
yeah, Nelson. Yes, yes, yes.
But here's the thing: when they left him, what did they do?
What do you mean when they left him?
When they left him, what did they do?
When they left him, left who?
Yeah, like I mean, Jordy Nelson didn't play for Green Bay his entire career. At least I don't think he did.
Hmm.
He didn't have like he had good player, but no one to the level of Devontae Adams. I think that hurt. No
Okay,
one
yeah,
to that level. He never had a skill player up to that level. And he always said, "Hey, I need you to surround me with skill guys." And they really haven't done it. But that doesn't mean that he's been great. He hasn't been great, but I think he's the right product of the system. And honestly, he had a chance to leave. All this dog and pony show about wanting to be traded, he decided to stay. And what happened? His top receiver goes to Oakland, or not Oakland, Las Vegas.
yeah.
So it's like, I mean, you should have left when you had the chance, bro. So
So you blaming Rogers for this?
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about. Yeah, I don't care.
No, no, you're blaming him for his own demise. You blaming him for staying, and pretty much that's what you get. That's what you're basically saying.
I mean, did he went through all the dog and pony show about
Turn off your phone. Turn off your phone. I mean, put your phone on vibrate.
yeah, yeah, I'm gonna do that in a second.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, but like he had his opportunity to leave. He had his opportunity to leave, and he didn't. And then the Green Bay Packers continued to do what they always did, around surround him with average skill guys.
Hmm.
So he made his bed. Now he got a lot in it, and I don't feel bad for him. So
Okay, all right. Well, I had a quick video I wanted to show when Tom Brady, when everybody is pretty much killing Evans with that drop. I don't know if you saw that video.
yeah, but don't play. I'm not interested in getting. I'm not
Yeah,
interested in getting.
no, yeah, I wasn't gonna play it. I was thinking about playing just the soundtrack, but I'm like, you know what? Now let's just move on. But when I saw that and I saw how wide open he was, and when he dropped it, I didn't like what he said after the game. When he said, "Oh, it's pretty much my fault," why we lost. Oh, that was the reason why. Dude, relax. That wasn't the reason why y'all lost that game. That wasn't the reason why you lost that game. You had 9 catches. You had 9 catches. So
But
I don't.
he had one that he should have caught for a touchdown. He
True.
had one. He had one he should have caught for a touchdown. So he's just taking accountability for what happened. I mean, I don't have a problem with it.
One touchdown. I don't think one touchdown wasn't gonna make them win the game.
No, I don't think he would. I don't think he would have. But like that's the easy 7 points that they missed out on.
Yeah.
He's just taking accountability. So
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, yeah, that's decent discussion. So we could start the first topic if you have anything else to say.
yeah, we can start. Yeah, okay. All right. So this is a loose end from the topic we had. Now, FY Molter said I can't believe I just got to this now. He said that he don't collect toys either.
Yeah. When it comes to toys and statues, action figures, whatever. Yeah, for me, ever since when I was a kid, I would never really was interested in playing, with action figures that much. Like I really never was interested in getting them because what I was mainly interested in getting, with the exception of video games, was the those crap. Do you remember this car named Taco Rebound?
No,
Well,
I probably know if I seen it, if I see it, but
yeah, it was one of those mo control toy cars.
mhm.
Those are the stuff that I like stuff like that. Riding my bike. Those are the things that I was really mainly interested in doing, instead of just staying home and collecting toys all day. I didn't really care about that stuff. But yeah, I understand Moto. And even now, if somebody wants to collect toys, look, go ahead and do it. But that is just not for me. I'll stick with the movies, the posters, and the comics. Go ahead.
All right. So last week we talked about Helena Taylor, the original voice of Bayonetta, right? Like a couple weeks ago she made a series of short videos pretty much describing what happened and why she wasn't the voice. She pretty much painted a picture that they didn't offer her any good money. Like they offered her, they went cheap with um with paying her even after the monetary success of Bayonetta 2.
Hmm.
Then verified reports came out that they offered her a lot more money than she made it out to seem made it seem.
Yeah.
And since then, she's gotten a lot of pushback, a lot of blowback, and this is her response, right? So we're on WCCF Tech, and this is the article right here. Original Bayonetta voice actress responds to backlash, claiming she only asked for a fair wage.
Okay.
Okay, let me see. Okay, all right. So these are all like this stuff that she said from a series of tweets. So I'll read it here. All right. So this is her. This is her. It has come to my attention that some people are calling me a liar and gold digger. I
You
feel
did that. You did that. You did.
what I do.
That's exactly what you did last week.
I didn't call her a gold digger.
No, you called. I think you called her a liar because you
No,
said,
I said
yeah, you did, you did. You were
I
last
said
week.
that if she wants to, she needs to come up with some receipts because ultimately this is not a good look for her. It's not because there were lots of stuff that she omitted in her original statement, and she's gonna try. I find it very interesting that this is not that she didn't videotape this. She just did this all in speech and not with the video. I found that interesting.
Okay, but I did. So just be clear.
Hmm.
You didn't call her a liar last week.
No, not really.
'Cause she's obviously calling people like you out with that statement.
I
That's why I wanted to stop you real quick. I wanted to stop you real quick because you were one of those
mean,
people.
she can call me out, call anyone out all she wants. The fact is, she's the one that put it out there, and she's the one that is currently on the verge of being exposed. So, yeah. So this is on her. There's nothing to do with me. All right. So, anyways,
Go
I
ahead, go
feel
ahead.
the need to defend myself and my reputation in the industry. As I posted on part 3 of my video thread, I explained that their first offer was too low. That offer was $10,000 total. She never said that in the video. Did she say
Yeah,
that in the video?
you're right. She didn't say that 10,000 was too low. Yes, correct.
Yeah. Remember, this is $450 million franchise, now counting not counting merchandise. And then wrote in Japanese to Kamiya, the head of the company of Platinum,
Hmm.
asking for what I was worth. I thought that as a creative he would understand. He replied saying how much he valued my contribution to the game and how much the fans wanted me to voice the game. I was then offered an extra $50,000. Again, all this stuff she never mentioned. The all this stuff she never mentioned in the video. So, anyways, the increased offer, however, was not enough for the Bayonetta original act. Okay, this is not her talking. This is the article.
Okay.
The increased offer, however, was not enough for the Bayonetta original voice actress, who declined to voice the character again. 11 months later, she was contacted again to voice some lines for $4,000, an offer she refused as well. This is the only number that she said they offered her. This is the only number.
The 4,000. Right,
Yeah.
right.
And there's a reason, and frankly, I think there's a reason why she did it. Because a lot of people would figure, even if like people can say what they want about Bayonetta, people can say what they say about Bayonetta not making money or whatever. I don't know what the financials are about the game and what Bayonetta 2 did.
Hmm.
But if you're voicing somebody for a franchise well known, and then you have the backing of at least at the backing of Nintendo, and $4,000 is criminally low. That's what I thought when I first heard it. Man,
Yes,
that's what you first thought.
correct.
So that was the only number she mentioned. Okay, so this is her again. So I declined to voice the game, and then heard nothing from them for 11 months. Then they offered me a flat fee to voice some line for $4,000, and any other lie such as 4,000 for five sessions is total fabrication. So she's saying this is a lie. She's saying this is a lie, even though it was reported in the article, in the Bloomberg article, that kind of I don't want like you can say exposed her.
The thing is, I mean, if you want to say that it's a lie, I mean that's fine. I mean, I'm not saying that she's a liar, but wasn't it that two separate companies, made that report?
Well,
If you remember.
yeah, it was Bloomberg with Jason Schreier, and there was another one. I forgot what it was, but yeah, but they both, and they said that they see documents of what happened. Jason Schreier said that he's seen it, but he doesn't want to put it out there because he doesn't want to he doesn't want to expose his source.
Hmm.
But he said that he's seen it. So all right, so okay, here's her continuing. There was not extensive negotiations. I've also been informed of ridiculous fictions such as I asked for $250,000. I am a team player. I was just asking for a fair living wage in line with the value that I bring to this game. So
Hmm.
yeah. So I mean,
Or there's more.
let's see.
Oh yeah, I see you have. Is that one important?
No. That's nothing. That's nothing. All right. So that's pretty much it for her and this in the comment. Like, what are your thoughts on this?
Uh, it's the thing that I can't I don't know, I guess fathom, maybe that's the term, is that now I'm just pretty much confused because it seems like they're both of accusing each other of lying.
Yeah.
They're both accusing each other of lying. So now I don't really know exactly who am I supposed to believe. I don't know who's telling partial truths. Like I don't know. Like some go ahead.
Here's the thing for me, and let me. I'll address the comments in a second. Well, let me do it right now. A conspiracy agent says, "What's good, folks?"
What's going on, man? What's
And he
up?
said Hideki Kamiya is a damn man child and will block anyone on Twitter who tweets to him in English, even if you're a fan. That's true. I've seen him do that. And he's the lead producer for Bayonetta, yeah. And he's the head of the Platinum Games.
Yeah.
All right. So to me, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I first heard when I heard her side of the story, I was like, oh, that's kind of effed up. You know, and she even said she broke NDA, which is very risky to do. It's something that a lot of people don't do because
Yeah.
it's risky,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I figured, you know what? I believed her. But then the report comes out, and there's a bunch of stuff that were not mentioned of what she said.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, like I said before, if she feel like she's not making enough money for the role she made for Bayonetta, then that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But you gotta put that stuff out there. You have to put that stuff out there because she only mentioned the $4,000 thing, and while her excuse in this thing and her tweets mentioned other money figures that were never mentioned in her original video.
In her original video,
Yeah.
correct.
The only figure that we found out about was the $4,000. That's what she said. And to me, that's strategic as to why she said what she said. And she can't sit here and act like, oh, we all know what how these voice actors get paid, because none of us knows. None of us know. We know that all we really know is that they do get paid low. At least there's a sense that they don't get paid as much as they feel like they deserve
Yeah.
due to some of the other voice actors who came out before that. To me, even though she could very well be justified in what she believes, the fact is the way you presented your argument was based on fallacies to make yourself look good. And which I said on Wednesday when we talked about it. And her response to the allegation did not help her cause at all. Did not
Well,
help her cause.
the okay. Well, before I say something, in
Mhm.
your opinion, if the 10,000 or whatever, 15, whatever it was that she
Mhm.
was initially supposedly was supposed to get, do you think that's still too low?
For 5 sessions, right? Like here's the thing. By itself, if it's only give me like $10,000 to do voiceovers, I'll do it in a heartbeat. I would
Oh,
do
you
it.
do it.
However, let's say there's a game like Grand Theft Auto that I do the voiceover work for,
Mm-hmm.
and all I'm getting is 10,000 when the game is worth billions of dollars, and constantly raking money every single day off my voice. Yeah, I'd be pissed off about that too. At the very least, I would figure I would have like some residual income.
As far as residual income, I don't think voice actors, the developers, I don't think none of them gets any residual income at all. I think
Not
they
in,
just
not
get
in the gaming industry, no.
yeah, they
But
just get
but in other aspects of entertainment, they do.
well, yeah. If you talk about music and that, well, wait, hold on. Do movie actors? I thought it
Yeah,
was a flat.
yeah.
Is it a flat rate?
No, no. I mean, I don't know if it's flat rate, but they get residuals. Like every time a show goes on syndication. So like, let's say if a show's on for like 6 years, right? And then they go to other networks and they just all they do is just play reruns.
Hmm.
The actors make money off of that.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in the gaming industry, when it comes to voice actors, that's not the case. And you know that I mean I don't think she ever mentioned it in her thing, but I'm sure that had a lot to do with it.
Well, I'm looking at it right here. So the I just Google searched it. So they made let me see 1.4 million copies worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
December 31st, 2021. Bayonetta 2, pretty much,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Now
And
remember the game originally came out on the Wii U, I think.
I think I forgot about that. Okay, so that means it's they made more than this then. So it's more than just 1.4, and this is the first one more than 1.35 million units. Like for me, I mean I think it's more than this, but like for me, and in case anyone don't know, I'm pretty sure you all know, but this is pretty much Bayonetta, and here's the thing, having know, right? Um, in my opinion, when a game sells 1 million copies, 2 million copies, 3 million copies, or whatever, right? That's a lot. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of copies. Especially if you're just talking about a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like people would say, unlike music and movies, that the video game industry, although they make a ton of money, they say it's a very small um what's the word they use, not necessarily a small market, but out of all the industry, it's one of the smallest, because when it comes to music, everybody listens to music. Mostly everyone will watch a movie, but not everybody plays video games. um but having said all of that, to me, Bayonetta, although you don't like it, I think it's a very successful franchise. I think Bayonetta is very successful, and if they are going to continue to make money and sell, 1 million units, 2 million units, 3 million units, whatever it is, I honestly believe the original. Oh, this is her, by the way. I honestly believe that the original amount that she was going to get, I think it's too small. If you're going to be selling millions upon millions of copies, I think the voice actor needs to be compensated. And I'm gonna give a one last reason why. There was an argument on Twitter that people was having
Mm-hmm.
based on her, and what they were saying was that the people behind the scenes, the developers, the programmers, and obviously the publishers and whatnot, they should always be the ones to get most of the money. And but but here's the thing: when it comes to the character, it's themselves, just like how in the movie industry or just like in the music industry, we focus on who we see on TV. That's who we actually focus on, the person that's on TV, the person that we are actually listening to. Of course, we have to give the other people recognition, the ones who actually does the programming and all the editing. Of course, we have to give them proper recognition. Why do you think their names on the credits? But at the end of the day, the voice actor, the movie actor, the singer, they are the one that gets most of the recognition. And that's why I believe when it comes to voice acting, should not be the exception to that rule. Because in what happened?
I disagree with that.
Okay, you say you disagree with that, but the same thing applies in the movie industry. The only relevance that people would have, with the exception of the movie actor or the actresses, are the producers, the directors. That's it. People don't know who the editors are, or the people who makes all the makeup. They don't know. They don't care about them. They only care about the people who's on screen. That's who they care about. That's who the fans care about. The directors. That's who they care about. They don't care about everybody else behind the scenes. They don't care about them. And I believe the same thing applies to video games. We care about the character. We care about the voice actor. That's it. We don't care about anybody else. And I know for a fact that you yourself don't care about anyone else beyond the characters themselves. So I'm surprised you would disagree.
because they're not the mediums are not the same. Like you'll watch a movie for an actor. I'm not buying a game for a character. I'm buying the game to play the game. Like you think I give two shits if David Hayter is voicing another voice?
I do.
All right, you do, but
I
I
do.
don't. I
I
don't.
do.
You if he was voice acting another game, not Metal Gear, if he was voice acting another game, you would buy the game because of it.
It would persuade me more to buy the game.
That's not what I asked you. They
It
didn't
would
ask you if it would persuade you to buy. Would you buy the game?
probably.
I don't believe you.
No, probably. Yeah,
I don't believe you.
I probably would.
No, Steve, I don't believe you.
Haven't. If what's his name? If what's his name? If what's his name that voiced the old guy that voices Mario. You don't think people would get upset if he was replaced? I think so.
I'm sure they'll be upset if they got replaced. But
Yes,
you think they're gonna not buy the game? Fuck out
but
of here.
okay, but my point is they still hold relevancy. You can't you
Okay,
can't you
not
can't, you
not
can't, you can't
not to the level of someone like a Tom Cruise or a Will Smith or anyone else in a movie. Because in the movie, you're watching for their performance. You're watching for their performance. I
Mhm.
don't like you said when it comes to gaming, it's about what the game is. Like it's about the game itself. It's about the game itself. I don't care if like when it comes to voice acting. Yeah, sure, I want the voice acting to be good.
Of
But I
course.
don't, I don't care. But I don't care. I don't care if the voice acting good and the game is bad. I'm not going to continue playing the game because the voice acting good. No, I'm dropping that shit like a bad habit.
I agree with that. I agree
Yeah.
with that.
So yeah, they're not the same. And so unfortunately, because of that, that's why their voice actors are hamstrung. They're hamstrung because ultimately, like people care about the game. They care about the game. That's it.
Yes.
I'm sure some people, that's the thing. Like I see some of these big YouTubers when the thing first initially came out, right? When she was saying what she said about Nintendo and Platinum Games,
Yeah.
all these fucking idiots on Twitter were like, "Oh, I'm boycotting the game. I'm doing this and doing that and whatever." And I'm
Hmm.
like, first of all, you cut the BS. Stop the BS. You're only saying this just to get some headway and to get clicks.
Well, I don't necessarily think they're doing it for clout
Absolutely, they are.
because apparently some of them actually canceled their pre-orders.
All right, okay, over a voice. Like fuck out of here. Like no, they're cloud chasing. And then once they found out that there was more to the story, oh now they changed their tune. Now they changed their tune.
Mhm.
Like, come on, man. Like, cut the cap, man. That's all these dudes are doing is capping. And in my opinion, was the same then as it is now. I can sympathize with you not getting paid, but I'm not
Mhm.
boycotting a game because of it. Because at the end of the day, your impact on the game is very minimal to the overall structure of what I want in the game, which is the game to be good.
Well,
If I actually gave a shit about Bayonetta, I'm not boycotting the game because she said to. Fuck no. No. I'm good. I'm not doing it.
yeah. Well, you're not gonna get the game anyway, regardless. But
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. You're pretty much saying that although it is nice to have a voice actor who is good or someone who's iconic, but it's not enough of a reason for you to decided to boycott the game completely.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it's not. It's not. So let me read this from Conspiracy Agent, and then we can probably move on, I guess, from this. He said, so those who work behind the scenes don't get recognized as much as the stars portraying the character. I think that's what Steve is saying.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
I would,
And I think voice actors are the exact same way. You apply the same thing to them.
no, I don't think, not for video games. No, because I'll tell you this right now. Perfect example. Let's take Nathan Nolan North, who's the voice of Nathan Drake,
Hmm.
right? And then you have Neil Druckmann, who's the creator who's the creator of Uncharted.
Okay.
If you told me there was a new gaming project available, right? There are two new games available, right? A
Okay.
game made by Neil Druckmann and a game that features Nolan North. I'm picking the game that has Neil Druckmann. Why? Because he's the creator of the game that I like. I don't mind Nolan North, but I don't give a shit about him. I like
No,
him. I like him as Nathan Drake, but I don't give a shit about like if he does voiceover work for another game. I'm not gonna care about that.
well, but again, that's why when I mention movies, for example, and I mentioned music too, but the reason why I mention movies is because we see the actor, and the only person, with the exception of the actors and the actresses, that get recognition is the director. Now, you could say that the director is pretty much the same as someone who actually directs the video game. What's his name again?
Nathan, Nolan, Neil Druckmann.
Neil Druckmann. So
Yeah.
he's pretty much, this in a the same way as let me think of a director, someone like I can't think of one top of my head, but you know what I'm saying.
Gaming or movie?
Movie.
Probably John Carpenter.
Yeah. Would you say that that's pretty much the same thing?
To an extent, yeah, yes, I would say that. But when it comes to video games, there's more that goes into it as well. Because if you tell me that you have a couple guys who are behind the multiplayer of let's say Call of Duty, right? And I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know who none of those guys' names are. I don't know everybody who's part of the project. But if you're telling me that it's the same people who made Call of Duty multiplayer what it is today, yeah, I would be far more interested in that than random actress doing a random role. Like when it comes to video games, like it's not that important to me.
Oh, okay.
But when you converse that to in a movie, yeah, sure, I may be more of a fan of the director than the actor. But yeah, I'm always gonna be like, okay, the actor, I'll see what he's doing, 'cause I like the actor. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So I mean that's just how I feel. Like I said before, just kind of wrapping things up with Helena. Like I said before, she went about it the wrong way, and I think she's paying the price for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think she's probably, paying the price. I just hope that this doesn't hurt her future. That's the only thing I'm worried about. I really hope that, this doesn't hurt her future when it comes to voice acting, regarding voice acting. I just hope she's still able to find a job. She's still able, to get gigs and stuff like that. But it is very interesting that you say, yeah, I want to finish it up, but it is interesting that you say that you don't really consider voice acting the same as um, a regular actor, even though when it comes to, like, the structure, it is, pretty much similar. So
I just don't. I think the importance of a voice actor in gaming is not as important because there's more things that go into what makes a game great, and voice acting is not one of them, in my opinion.
yeah, but if the movie's not good, who cares who the actor is? If the movie sucks, the movie sucks. I'm walking out.
Yeah, that could be true too. But if a game, but here's the thing: an actor. I don't think an actor can save a movie, but they can be compelling and the rest of the movie be bad. And if that's enough for you, then that's fine. For
Hmm.
me, voice acting to me has no bearing on whether or not a game is good. No bearing. An actor can be good in a bad movie, but to
Hmm.
me, a bad game's a bad game. A bad game's a bad game. And even though the acting in the movie in the game could be good, I'm not wasting my time playing the game. I'm not wasting my time playing the game if the game is bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't do it. So
Yeah, okay, yeah, and you did bring up a good point. Because if the Russell brothers, there's one, if the Russell brothers who made all the Avengers movies, decide to make a different superhero movie, I'll be like, oh snap, that's pretty much incredible. When it comes to the voice acting, though, I when you made the comparison, if a director of a video game makes another game, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. That does give a more of an impact, or I should say, it will entice you to buy that game to opposed to a voice actor. That I actually like that comparison. So yeah, I agree with you on on that aspect. So yeah.
all right, let me read this one from Conspiracy Agent, and then I gotta take a quick phone call. I gotta call my sister. Hopefully this doesn't jeopardize her chances of being hired to voice characters for Roman Knowledge franchise. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
honestly, she did that to herself by breaking NDA. She did that to herself by breaking NDA. I mean,
Um,
I don't want her to, I don't want her to, lose work, but she did that to herself. She did
you
that to herself.
so yeah, but but are you saying that she shouldn't get a second chance? I
I
mean,
mean, if yeah, everyone deserves a second chance, but I'm telling you, like her going out the way that she's doing is not going to help her chances.
hmm.
Not going to help her chances. Anyway, let me make this phone call
But
real quick, and then you can.
since you're gonna make the call, I'm gonna just read this article while you go make your phone call. Go ahead. So yeah. Where is it? So all right. So it is. I think it's very interesting. This is a very interesting topic. So while Hoovy 186 is gone, it is very interesting to see what's going to happen. This day forward. Because what I want to do from now on is since now that she lost this role for Bayonetta, I am interested to see what's going to be the upcoming future for her. So this is pretty much the same article that Hoovy read, but it looks like here. Oh yeah, this is the one where what Hoovy read. It's come to my attention that people are calling me a liar, gold digger. I don't know who was calling her a gold digger. I wouldn't necessarily call her a gold digger because all right, let's you know what let's talk about this real quick. Okay, let's talk about this real quick. Um, when it comes to someone calling her a gold digger, I call that foul. I call that foul because remember, you are in the workplace, and by being in the workplace, you are actually doing a service, right? Now, bear with me with real quick. By you doing a service, just like at any job, if you had an opportunity to make more money, you take it. You take it. And I don't. I think people calling her a gold digger. I think that's a real low blow. That's very disingenuous because I guarantee you those same people that's calling her a gold digger are the exact same people. I guarantee you if they had an opportunity to negotiate to make more money for whatever job that they're working at, they'll take it. And I'm pretty sure every one of you that's watching this podcast right now would take it. I would take it. I'm not gonna. That doesn't make me a gold digger or make a female a gold digger just because she's asking for a raise or she feels like she deserves more, that she earns more. That doesn't make you a gold digger. It doesn't. We are we already know what a gold digger is. But come on, for calling her here in this particular case a gold digger, she's working. This is about her job. Her job. So it's not the same. Um, and she goes on, I feel the need to defend myself and my reputation in the industry. I'm actually interested to see what those people were saying about her. Let's see if we can find anything quickly. Um, so this is so well, she said a lot of stuff. So she said, as I posted on part three of my video thread, I explained that their first offer was too low. That's what who we read earlier. So I declined the voice game. Then I heard nothing from them for 11 months. Then they offered me a flat out fee voice, some lines for $4,000. Any other lies, such as 4,000 for 5 sessions, are total fabrications. Yeah, Hoovy 186 read that also. The only thing that I'm actually interested in is I kind of would have preferred if she made another video instead of making constant tweets. I do find that a little bit interesting. I'm still not going to call her a liar yet. I'm not going to go that far and call her a liar because I do believe voice actors don't get paid enough. Game developers, programmers, game designers, they don't get paid enough either when it comes to these games. I've been seeing all these documentaries, testimonies of workers, game developers saying that they don't get paid enough and that there's no good structure and they have to deal with like harassment and all this other stuff and how there's so much pressure and it's just not a good working environment. Which is why, for me, in my opinion, if you're going to be a game developer, I would always strive for that individual or for anybody to work on their own. Make your own game. Don't work for somebody else, especially if they're not going to pay you enough. Make your own game so that way you get all the profit. The game is yours, and you have nothing to worry about. You know what I'm saying? So this one says, so who's ready to play the crap out of Bayonetta 3? Not me. Sit down and get ratioed. This one says post proof. Otherwise, I see no reason to believe it. This one says, I swear if she's lying again, I'm paying a model to replace her voice in Bayonetta 1 and 2. That's a little harsh, but let's do a couple more. LOL, here we go again. Honestly, y'all should have just been honest and upfront from the beginning. You were offered 15K and didn't mention that originally. By the way, were you getting this 450 million number? Were you getting this 450 number from, Miss Taylor? Move on. Huh, interesting. Uh, Also, want to add, I'm buying multiple copies of the game and will encourage others to do so as well because I'm
Uh,
a team player and want to see everyone, voice actors, developers, build Bayonetta into a bigger selling franchise. Now look, if oh, you said you're back?
yeah.
Right. Well, I was pretty much reading the tweets, and here's what irritated me because I
Well,
was reading.
bring back the tweet.
Um, okay. Well, the tweet that I was reading was this one, the one that you read earlier. The one that ticked me off was this one right here, when the gold digger portion of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the liar part I could understand, but I don't appreciate people calling her a gold digger. And while you were gone, I was explaining to everybody why. If you are working at any type of job, if there's an opportunity for you to get extra money, and if you want to negotiate, to get extra money, that doesn't make you a gold digger. It doesn't. People do this all the time.
People,
People
people,
do
are,
this all
people are just bad mouthing her now because because that's just how the internet is. They just bad mouth people. So it's not that big of a surprise to me.
No, it's stupid. And I was pretty much telling everyone, including myself and including you. I guarantee if there was an opportunity for you to negotiate to get more money, you'd do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, of course.
I don't. That's why I don't blame all these professional athletes saying, "Oh, this contract is not good. This the contract is not good. I want more money." Go after your money. If you are going to be working hard and delivering a particular service and you feel that you should be compensated for it, go ahead and take as much money as you can.
All
That
right,
doesn't make you a gold digger.
but the company also has a right to say no.
No, I agree with that too.
Yeah, they have the right to say no, and that's what they did.
Yeah, I 100% agree that the company has the right to say no, but that still doesn't make you a gold digger though.
Okay, that's fine. But we all know she's just getting insulted. Like it's it is what it is. Even if she was telling the truth, she would have gotten insulted.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it is what it is.
Right. So
Anyways,
anyway, I'm glad that you're back. 'Cause that was pretty much it.
yeah, yeah. All right. So all right, go ahead talk about Deontay Wilder.
All right. So all right, this is not necessarily. I do have an article, but I don't necessarily want to read all of it. The only part that's important for me is the audio. Now, before I play the audio, let me X all this stuff out, all the Bayonetta stuff. Now, before I play the audio, um, you don't think we're gonna get copyrighted for it, right?
For the audio?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, but don't play the video, right?
Uh, if you play through Twitter, I don't think it's a bad. I don't think it's a big deal.
Okay, okay. So what I'll do is play it on Twitter, and this is very, very. I find this to be very interesting,
Mm-hmm.
um, because Wilder, who's just in case anybody doesn't know, he's a boxer, and he got really, really emotional. He got really, really emotional. I'm just trying to find the freaking. Hold on, where is it? Bear with me, quick, guys. Um, Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, I think I know. I know how I can find it because I was having a debate with Jabonis about it, and he pretty much. It seems like he was not on my side when it comes to when it comes to this. So
Yeah. Oh, Double Shooter, shout out to you, bro. He said that her career is over.
who said that?
Double Shooter.
Oh snap! What? You think the career is done? You think she's done?
I think she is closer to being done than what you guys said.
Mm,
Definitely closer to being done.
I don't. I think she'll get another chance because she is a really good voice actor.
I mean,
I
but
don't, go ahead.
I know someone was looking through her IMDb. She hasn't really done much since Bayonetta too. She hasn't really,
She hasn't done much work at all.
yeah, since Bayonetta two. As far as gaming goes.
Oh wow, okay. Well,
So
okay, that I didn't know. But does she do any, like for example, like any cartoon or anime?
I'm sure she's done something of that level before, but when it comes to like video games, I think she's only really done Bayonetta.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
this thing's not gonna help her.
Uh, okay. So if you had to guess, you're gonna say that her career is over too. Then,
Hmm?
so I'm assuming that you think her career might be over as well, because it seems like what you're saying is that she's really nothing special.
I don't want to go that far, but I'm just saying that I think that what she did and the backlash coming from it is not a good look for her. And Devil Shooter said she's getting blacklisted. I'll bet on it. I if she's at if she feels like she's worthy of the pay that she's getting, then more power to her. But going through it the way that she did, not smart.
Hmm.
Not smart. And also the way she left certain things, not smart.
All right, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I'll keep my eyes open on that because I'm actually interested to see what her future is going to be like. But okay, I found the audio, so let me share it so each and every one of you all could take a look along, with me. So let me put this on share, and so pretty much he knocked out Robert. I forgot his last name. Um, and this was his reaction. So I really want everyone to listen to him real quick, and I actually have something to say after this audio.
My heart goes out
Can you hear that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. As long as you can hear it loud and clear.
to him. and I hope he's doing okay. He could be able to go back to his family. You know, people always go about worrying about records and all this. He lost, or he's a bum and all that. Well, you get your bum ass in there. Then, yeah, it's a great knockout. It's devastating, making history and stuff like that. But how much that man gonna suffer? And we seeing what happened. Look at Cologne. Pritchard Cologne. Yep. Correct. This man ain't have no kids. Man, they don't understand, man. Y'all don't fucking understand what we go through, man. And I don't even know him like that. But I always be an advocate for us because
let me stop real quick. Let me stop. Mm-hmm. It's clearly this guy is very emotional right now. Mm-hmm. And I don't think he's faking. That there's this one guy that thinks that he's this is all a facade. I don't think so. Here's the problem. This is what I hate what people say though. I hate it whether if you are a boxer, an MMA player, a basketball player, or football player. I never really like the statement that they say, well, you go onto the court and play. Well, you go on to the ring and play. You go on to the ring and wrestle. The reason why I was never a fan of those type of statements is because you are the one that chose to do that type of job. And because you are the one that decided to do that type of job, there has to be room for criticism if you don't perform well. I'm sorry. This applies at every single job in the work in the world. Any job. If you at a particular job, whether if your job is to pick up trash or to do an operation, or to fix computers and whatnot, regardless of what job it is, if you do bad, there's going to be criticism for it. And in my opinion, whether if you are a boxer or an NFL player, yes, you go out there and you get hurt and things of that nature. But if you have a bad performance, people are just going to call it that, like it is. You didn't do well in your job, or you lost at your job. I mean, that's it. You can't your statement shouldn't be, well, you go out there and play. Listen, that's not what I signed up for. It's not. It's not. And I honestly believe these professional athletes really need to stop using that, because we're not the ones. Because what you're pretty much saying is that whether you do good or bad, we should not be criticizing you. You take all the praise, you take all the acclaim, you take all that, you take all the good stuff. Oh, but when it comes to criticism, oh, you want to get upset about it. No, that's not how the world goes. That's not how it works. If you do bad, we're going to say that you did bad. If you did good, we'll give you credit for it. I mean, that's pretty much how it is. I'm going to continue playing the rest, but do you agree or disagree with me?
I understand what you're saying.
It sounds like you disagree.
No, I understand what you're saying.
All right. Let me play the rest.
Take your time, man. This man would never know what it feel like to be somebody's father. And that's some of the precious thing in the world, to be somebody's father. But he'll never be nobody's father, man. This man will never have a natural childhood ability of living again because he got in the ring to support his family.
Were you thinking about that when you knocked him out?
Wait. Let me stop you right there. The guy who he's referring to is a boxer who died in the ring, I think, some time ago.
Oh, okay. No, hold on. Let me stop you right there. Do you remember? Crap. Do you remember when he was saying that? Oh, he wants a body before he retires.
Who, Deontay?
Yes.
I don't remember him saying that.
Yeah, he said he wants a body before he retires. That's what he said.
Okay.
That's what he said. And to me, why after all the, I mean, I'm trying to be careful with my words here, but after all the vulgar stuff that you were saying, why are you getting all emotional now? You said you wanted a dead body before you retire. That's what you said. That's what you said. And now all of a sudden your tone is different. I don't understand. Like how is all this stuff different now? But I'm pretty sure, you could correct me if I'm wrong about this, but every single time when a boxer knocks somebody out or when he knocks somebody out, there was always a celebration afterwards.
Of
All
course.
the time.
That doesn't mean you want to. That doesn't mean you want your opponent to die.
No, I'm not saying that. But he said he would. But the reason why I brought that up is because he is the one that said he wanted the body.
Yeah. When did he say that? By the way.
Let me. You know what? I'm going to see if I can find it. But let me put up. Let me finish playing the rest of this. We're almost
Mhm.
finished. Oh wait. What were you going to say about the guy that died?
No. Like I think he the guy who he's talking to. That's who he was referring to.
Mm-hmm.
About a boxer who died recently in the ring. Well, he died. He got. I guess I don't know. He got knocked out, and then he died from injuries in the ring.
Yeah.
That's the person that he's referring to, not the guy he fought.
Okay.
This for everyone to kind of understand.
Okay. All right. Thanks for the correction. Appreciate it.
While you wait, let me read some comment from Ruben. Ruben, how you doing? And Ruben said he remembers that, and but
Um,
he said that Tyson also said he wants to eat his kids.
oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know about that one. I didn't know about the eating kid part, but
No,
I but
I remember him saying it live. I remember listening to it live. He said that about Lennox Lewis.
that he wants to eat his kids.
Even though
Okay.
Lennox Lewis at the time had no kids. But
All
yeah,
right. That
look, like
go ahead.
when it comes to that, like boxers say, I mean, athletes sometimes they say crazy shit. Like I don't think Tyson feels that way now.
Mm-hmm.
He just said something that was off, off a little bit off the rails, and I'm sure the
A
street,
little bit. A
yeah,
little bit.
yeah. I don't think he would actually eat his kids. I don't think he would actually do that. But
Oh,
yeah, people say crazy shit all the time.
mhm,
I'm not going to. I'm not going to. And like I'm not going to like hold it against him forever over it. You
mhm.
know what I mean? Like it's just something. You know how guys are. The guys like to promote fights and they like to, they like to bolster in themselves. But when it comes to Deontay Wilder, I do want to say this because I do think it
Okay.
is like again. I don't know if if he's being honest or not. I don't know. But this man has gone through a lot of transformation over the last 3-4 years. Now, mind you, around that time he fought Fury. He lost to Fury,
Mm-hmm.
and when when after the first loss, like look, when guys lose and then they go on social media and everyone, they're making memes about them, whatever. I can understand that being hard on some athletes. Even though, yeah, you're right, they do sign up for that when they go in there on live TV, making millions of dollars. Like that's the thing that comes with that, the scrutiny.
Yes. Yes.
Like that will comes along with it. But it don't mean that that it's something that they should be like, oh well, I'm just going to accept it. Some people it's harder for some people to accept it. For some people, it's harder for that. So I'm sure if he's telling the truth, I can understand his mindset when it comes to fighting has changed over the last couple years. He's gone through a lot, obviously.
Yeah.
So, did you find the whole comment? If you haven't, I'll read it.
Yeah. I found it. Let me finish this one first, and then I'll play it.
Yeah.
Ability of living again because he got in the ring to support his family. But now his family got to take care of him for the rest of his life. We don't know is Robert going to be the same after this. I just did a job.
That's his, that. Now that's the one that he was talking about. I think
Yeah,
that's the one.
the guy who he knocked out. Yeah,
Yeah. And he said, "Oh, he just did a job."
yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's a job that you signed up for. You decided to partake in that job, and unfortunately, knocking somebody out is part of the job. And to me, any other job where there has so much physicality, whether if it's football, MMA, boxing, etc. Look, I'm sorry, when it comes to that, that's the risk that you take. There's great reward, but you also
Come
there.
on. Clearly, I'm not. My bad, I'm watching the game, but
Oh,
someone clearly foul, or whatever.
oh,
But
okay. Yeah, I mean, there's great reward where you get fame, you have millions and millions of dollars, but it's also a risk where there's could be, your future could be compromised depending of how much damage has been done to your body. I mean, it is what it is, man, and that's why even you said it yourself when a situation happened with Tua. Yes, he had an injury, he had a concussion, but you said it yourself. It's a dangerous job. It's a dangerous job. And because it's a dangerous job, since you decided to partake in it, what are we supposed to do? Is it just constantly be all in weary? Oh, don't get hurt, don't get hurt. No, we watch the NFL, we watch boxing because it's entertaining. That's why. That's why. We're not gonna sit here and act like, oh, let's hope this person doesn't get hurt, every single time when you're in the ring or when you're on the field. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
So what is your issue with what he's saying? What he's saying?
The issue that I have is it's it seems like he's being oh yeah, okay, so let me play the article, the video, because to me I think it's very hypocritical. Right, let me see, let me find it.
Mm-hmm.
um Crap, my bad. uh
Yeah,
uh,
while you look for it, let me read some more comments.
go ahead.
Ruben said that it seems suspicious these days. He said Lewis is the greatest. Um, I beg to differ. Ali lost some steps in his old age. Yeah, he got Parkinson's disease. That's what happened. He got Parkinson's.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
that dude was barely able to walk.
you know what I mean, and all because he loved the fighting. He loved the glamour. He loved the stuff. Like he sacrificed his health for the sport.
Yeah,
So yeah, did you find what you needed to find?
yeah. Okay, so let me play it.
Mm-hmm.
Radio Raheem here with the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Deontay Wilder. This was an intense press conference, man, a little bit more than expected. The big moment, though, was when he looked
Can you
over at
see
you
it?
and said, do you
Yeah,
fear for
Oh crap! No! What happened? Hold on.
my life? And you said that you do, and he said he didn't fear for yours. Is this fight really on that level? I mean,
This is the level of this fight. This is the funeral right here. It's just no cat.
Okay, so yeah, you think that's appropriate to say? Oh,
no, it's not
you know,
appropriate to say.
all right. So all right, let me continue.
But this was also 5 years ago.
Right here, I will get a body on my record.
You think that's appropriate?
No, it's not appropriate. But he also said this
A
5 years
long
ago,
time now, anyway.
before everything else around his life changed.
Go ahead. All right.
To do it with so much pain, so much frustration, so much things that been going on in my career. I want a body. I want a body, and he gonna be the body.
that's going to rub a lot of people the wrong way, man? Are you sure we're talking about lethal, like a death certificate in the ring?
We get paid for this. This is what we do. We get paid for this. We sign.
That right there is what I was trying to say from the very beginning. You get paid for it. You get paid, to knock somebody out. I don't listen. I don't want to. I honestly don't want to hear or see any of this emotional stuff when you decided to put your own life at risk to do the job. To do the job. And look, at the end of the day, if you want to feel sorry for a person because he got hurt and this and that and this and that, you could weep over it all you want, and that's fine. And trust me, I'm okay with that.
No,
But
it don't seem like you are.
let me finish what I was going to say. If you want to weep over it, I mean, when I say weeping, I'm talking about the fans, not the person who's doing the job. I'm talking about the fans.
What?
Listen, if you are going to weep over it, over somebody who got hurt, somebody who got knocked out, yada 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 yada. But guess what though? The sport is going to continue on. The sport is going to continue on.
What, Steve? What are you talking about, man?
Now you don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
The sport is going to continue on.
No one said there's no argument. There's no argument about stopping the sport. Who is talking about stopping the sport?
You're missing the point.
No, I don't understand what the point is.
If you are going to start crying and all this other stuff, despite the fact that you decided to be involved in the sport yourself. I don't want to hear any crying if what you are paid to do is to knock people out. What are you crying for? What are you crying for?
He's talking about the boxer who died in the ring, supporting his family.
You completely missed it.
No. I don't think you understand what you're arguing over. I don't think you. I don't. No. Hold on.
Here's what you just said. Listen. Here's what you just said. You just said about the guy who died, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he die doing the job? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So the guy who died. No.
That means that Deontay Wilder can't feel bad about that.
No. Let me finish. So Wilder. No. You could if you was to feel bad about it, that's fine. But he said at the end. Oh, we don't know if Robert is going to be the same. You just knocked him out. You knocked him out.
What's he supposed to do?
Robert knocked him out. You knocked him out. If that was truly your concern, why did you try to knock him out then?
What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Seriously.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna talk now. Let me put this to you in terms that you will understand. Okay? These guys know when they go into the ring that they take
get the hell out of here. Because can I
finish? I'm finishing. Okay? They know that. But why do you see most guys when they get into the ring, they shake hands or they pound fists or whatever? Why? Because both men understand and realize what their jobs are. Their job is to win. Whether it's by KO in boxing, unanimous decision, or submission KO in MMA.
You don't see that all the time.
Okay. No, okay. I'm talking in most cases. Most guys don't go in there trying to hurt each other. They don't go in there trying to like maim each other. But they have to go in there. To protect themselves. That's it. If he feels bad about knocking the guy out, that's his prerogative. I don't care. That's his prerogative. But clearly, but to me, what it sounds like to me is that you want to say that you want to call him a hypocrite because of what he said. 2017, 5 years ago, right? About another guy, right? Who he clearly had issues with. Right? Said, oh, he wants to catch a body before he probably don't feel that way now.
Do you know that?
I don't know, because like I said before, I don't know what he's saying is legit or not. But this idea that guys going to the ring being like, oh, why do you knock him out? If he didn't knock him out, then Robert would have knocked his ass out. Fighters go in there knowing what the risks are. They know what the risks are. The only thing is that you go in there and it's called the hurt business for a reason. It's not to go and kill someone business. That's not how it's supposed to be perceived.
You all you're doing is helping me in my argument for everything you just said.
I don't know. I don't understand what your argument is. That's the thing. I don't think you understand what your argument is.
Everything you just said, you helping my argument.
No, I'm not.
Yes,
honestly, I don't know what your argument is. What are you so upset with him about?
He kept on talking. Well, that's why I played the other audio for a reason.
Okay, and I already told you that he may not feel the same way he did 5 years ago.
Okay, but you don't know that for a fact.
No, I don't. But you don't know that either.
Okay, but what we do? Okay, I don't know that either. But you know why? But you know what I do know for a fact is that he said it.
Okay,
it would have helped if he would at least apologize for it, but we know he's not going to do that.
Who is he supposed to apologize to?
You know he's not going to do that.
Who is he supposed to apologize
to? About getting a body and all this other stuff.
Who is he supposed to apologize to?
what you said, if what you can I finish? If what you said, oh yeah, he should have never said that. Shouldn't he apologize for it?
To who is he supposed to apologize to?
What do you mean? Who do we should apologize to?
Who?
What do you mean who?
You,
He
my,
said. He said.
Steve, you said, oh, he needs to apologize. Who is he supposed to apologize to?
No, what I said. Here's what I'm trying to say. You said that you don't know. I said that I don't know if he feels that way, but you said you don't know either. You said that he probably had changed. Wouldn't it have been better for him to apologize so we would know for certain that he made a huge transition
Who is he
and
supposed to apologize to?
what's his name? The guy that he said he was going to have a body.
I mean, if he's there, he probably did. He probably could apologize to him or whatever. Like I think that's like okay. If you then go on Twitter and ask him to apologize. But what the thing? What I'm trying to understand, why are you upset with him over what he said? What's the issue here?
I already told you already. I played the audio. I played the audio.
So you're trying to call him a hypocrite? That's what you're trying to say.
I thought I already said that already.
Okay, but like, and do you believe that a one person mindset can change in 5 years?
Sure.
Okay, then
Okay,
what are you upset about then?
Why are you asking me that when you yourself don't know if he changed?
Because at the end of the day, I already explained to you what the changes that he went through. Even with the stuff that even I don't even know. Clearly, there's something that changed. Like you, and also you have recently a boxer died in the ring, and that was obviously clearly in his mind. Clearly, that's on his mind. Like again, if he come back in 2 weeks and be like, "Oh, I want to catch another body," then I'll be right there with you calling him a hypocrite. But to me, I'm just trying to understand why. But
you said it yourself. That just goes with the sport. When you hear someone say, I can't wait to knock this dude out, or I can't wait to knock his teeth in, whether if it's just for the sport or whether if he means it or if he means it intentionally, or that's what his intentions are. At the end of the day, though, it's still part of the job. And then it makes you look like a hypocrite when all of a sudden now you want to get all emotional about it, but yet all you've been doing throughout your whole entire career is just talk a whole bunch of violence, to people. I mean, I don't. Explain to me, how does that even go together?
Let me ask you a question. Do you find it weird that guys, after they beat the shit out of each other for 5 rounds in MMA, that they embrace each other?
Do I find it weird?
Yeah.
It depends.
It depends on what.
Like it depends. Like for example, like the one with Khabib and Conor McGregor, right? Like the issue that they had, or the issue with GSP and crap, what's his name? Forgot that dude's name. The one of the twins that he fought. Crap, what's his name?
Diaz.
Yeah. Nick Diaz. Like the issue that they had, how he was constantly being disrespectful to George St. Pierre. Like I've seen many situations. I'm pretty sure you have too, because you watch UFC more than I have. And
yeah, obviously, guys, there's some times when things get personal. Absolutely, it happens.
Yeah, and I honestly believe, now correct me if I'm wrong, I honestly believe when it gets really personal, even outside of the ring or after the match is over, like they still like freaking hate each other.
I'm sure that happens, but more often than not, guys would beat the shit out of each other and then embrace after the fight. Why? Because there's an understanding between combatants about what this is their job. That doesn't mean they want to see this guy maimed or this guy or promote violence or whatever. The guys could love fighting and still not want to see guys get permanently damaged, even though the risk is obviously always there.
Yeah, but if you're going to start, but I could have sworn you said it gets really, really personal or really inappropriate once you get families involved. Like, oh, I'm gonna bang your wife, or I'm gonna eat your kids,
Yeah,
or whatever,
okay,
whatever.
that's fine, but none of
Like
that,
in my
that's fine. But
personal
none of that
opinion,
stuff going on here.
no. But I'm using that as an example of.
Obviously.
Oh, okay.
But none of that stuff is going on with Wilder right now. All he was doing was answering a question, and he brought up the boxer that passed away, and he was referring to his opponent who got knocked senseless.
Yeah, by him.
Yeah, by him. Because at the end of the day, he's right. He had a job to do, and if it didn't happen to him, if it didn't happen, if he didn't do it, then the guy was gonna do it to him.
Yeah, but don't why? Okay, but it's a job that he signed up for, and the
Yeah,
other guy and the other guy too.
yeah.
And if somebody just end up getting knocked out, like it is what it is. Hoovy 186. I mean, it is what it is.
Oh, that's fine, but that doesn't mean that he can't feel bad about it.
I just find it interesting that you could feel bad about it if you want to, but the fact that you said that you want a body, I don't know, man.
Okay,
I just
again,
find it to be very
that was 5 years ago.
I think that was 4 years ago.
It's 5 years ago.
Okay.
It's 5 years ago. And again, based on what he's been saying in interviews and stuff like that, he don't sound like he's the same guy. Now, again, it could all be a facade. It could absolutely all be a facade. I'm not taking that away.
Okay.
But I can only go by what you say recently. I can't just go by your past. I can't just go by your past.
Well, you was in favor of that many now that with all this, I don't want to go off topic, but you didn't care about that when it came to cancel culture, when people will go look at old tweets of what you did and try to get you canceled.
No,
So
I mean, it is what it is when it comes to that. Like if the job wanted to keep the person for saying what he said, then that's their prerogative. I don't care. Not my problem. That's their problem.
well,
But and again, what he said years ago, that's not us. Trust me, Tyson said worse. There's lots of guys who said worse. Who said worse. But if he said that he's not that type of person anymore, then it is what it is. I can only take him at his word. But I just find the whole thing to just not. I just don't understand this idea where like we're criticizing him for getting emotional. I did what they go through is not easy. It may not be paying, like it may not be like, oh, worrying about paycheck to paycheck. It may not be that, but they deal with a lot of stuff as well. They go through a lot. So I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh man, stop being a hypocrite, stop doing that. No, I'm not gonna do that, because at the end of the day, like, I don't know what that man's going through. I don't know what he's going through.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. But since, like you said, it is part of the job. Since you said it's part of the job, if he's going to continue on and fight, and he's gonna, you know, be all violent or be all vulgar, I should say, and start cursing, or I'm gonna knock your head off, or whatever.
Yeah, if he starts doing that, then yeah, it's gonna be weird.
Exactly, it's gonna look, he's gonna look like a hypocrite some more.
Yeah, but
So
if he's not doing that now, then I'm going to what am I going to criticize him for?
no, but the transition that you're talking about and I'm talking about, I think we're talking about something different, because you mentioned that he's a changed man. Now, when it comes to UFC, a very, very good example. Would you say that a guy like George St. Pierre or Anderson Silva, like they didn't really talk that much trash to their opponent?
No, they did.
So if what you're saying is true, that he's a changed man, that's what I expect to see from Wilder from now on. If
Okay,
you're gonna go that far, oh, he's a changed man, he humbled himself, he's not like that anymore, then that's what I expect to see from now on. Sport or not, that's what I expect to see from Wilder from now on, if what you are saying is true.
okay,
Because you could still fight and not talk trash to your opponent.
obviously. But all right, let me read some comments, and then we can move on. Um,
All right. So before we read the comments, so your issue with me is that you're pretty much saying that he could change despite the fact that he said all that disgusting stuff. That's what you.
My issue with you is that I don't know if you understand what your argument is. You're saying you're trying to try to make him out to be a hypocrite,
Which I just said.
even though like a lot the comments were 5 years in between, and during those 5 years, a lot of stuff in his life has changed. Like he used to be when that interview came out, he was fighting another guy who we clearly didn't like, and he was undefeated. He was knocking everybody out, and a lot has changed. Like when sometimes losing humbles people.
But that doesn't explain how I don't understand what I'm saying. If I just gave you the answer about he's a hypocrite, I don't understand what you're trying to say.
No, but it's like I told you everything that went on in his life, and you still persistent on calling him an hypocrite and getting upset at him for being emotional, being like, "Oh, it's your job," and being like, "Oh, you still knock people out violently." Like, huh? Like that his job is doing fights. That's what his job is. His job is doing fights. If he accidentally kills somebody in the ring, like he should be okay with that because that's a job. No,
No, he shouldn't be okay with that. But I don't expect him or anybody to get emotional after every single after every single knockout. No.
I mean, like I said, I think it was his first fight since the Fury trilogy. That was his first fight since the trilogy, and like I said, sometimes losing humbles people. So yeah, so let me continue reading. Ruben said, Brady put his life at risk.
Well, Ruben, like I said before, this is not just football. Like I said earlier, this also involves, I mean, not boxing. This also involves, football. When you go and you put your pads on, you put your helmet on, it's a risk. Every time I watch a game, it seems like there's always one or two people at in both teams that's constantly getting injured. Someone is always getting injured every single time. Every single time, like it is what it is. It's just part of the game. I mean, and this is what I said on Twitter, right? I said on Twitter that unless you remove the sport completely, you can never keep dangerous sports safe. It's impossible. You can't do it. It's just part of the job. So if you want to constantly get emotional for knocking somebody out, or that you lay somebody out on the field, I mean, you could do that, but listen, you're going to continue doing the same thing in the next game or in the next fight anyway. So unless you're going to constantly get emotional consistently, I mean, it is what it is.
Ruben says he thinks that me and you are on two different subjects. That's what I felt like too. I was like, what is this dude talking about?
No, you knew what I was talking about. You're just upset that I was still calling him a hypocrite, and you thought that he changed. That's why.
No, I like no, because what you said that annoyed me was that you're saying, oh, if he didn't want to see him like knocked out like that, he should never knocked him out. Like I'm like, huh?
Because
Like,
if you're going, how does it? Tell me if this makes sense. You fight 10 fighters, right?
okay.
You knock out all 10, so you're going to be emotional all 10 times.
I mean, if he wants to, like, what am I supposed to do?
Nah, I'm asking you a question.
All right,
You,
if he wants to, what am I supposed to
no,
do?
talk about you're gonna
Me?
you're gonna get emotional all 10 times. So every time you knock somebody out, you're gonna cry about it.
It depends. It depends. Like I'm not that type of person. I'm not that type of person. But if I am, then yeah, likely yeah, I am.
You're gonna cry. And you know what I would have told you was stop fighting. If you're gonna constantly cry every single time because you knock somebody out, stop fighting.
All
Stop
right,
fighting.
but at some point, monetary income is important to these guys. Monetary income is important to these guys. Is not again, guys don't. A lot of guys don't just fight for them; they fight for their families
Of
to
course,
provide for their family.
absolutely.
So if that's something that they feel like they have to do, that's what they're going to do. Especially
Well,
especially when you go through all the stuff that you go through when it comes to training, of course, that's like yeah, that's what they're gonna do. Like that's what they're gonna do.
Well, yeah, like I said, it is what it is at that point. Like the sport is going to continue on. Now, remember when we talked about in the NFL, if you're going to be like Andrew Luck and RG3 and just retire because your body can't take it, I mean that's what you're just going to have to do. That's the only option because the sport is going to continue on with the with or without you. So I mean, again, it is what it is, bro. But go ahead.
Okay, all right. So Ruben said that fighters talk before the fight. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of them do. Rose Mai says hi. How you doing?
Hello, Rosemary.
And Steve Ruben said that he thinks that you want a public apology to not be a hypocrite. You want him to you want him to issue a public apology.
Well, like I said, if should he apologize for saying that? Oh, I want a body. Should he apologize and say, "Oh, I want to eat your like the eat your kid part"? I didn't know about that. I didn't know anything about that.
Tyson said that.
Oh, okay. Tyson said that.
Yeah,
Okay,
to Lennox Lewis.
okay. I thought he meant Wilder. I didn't even know about that. But okay. But yeah, that's foul too. That's foul too. When it in my look, this is just my opinion. I'm not trying to say that. I'm not trying to be a hypocrite by saying, oh, that's you should not be soft or anything like that. But if you're gonna talk about someone's wife or somebody's kids, like that's crossing the line. The same way how you got pissed off when Conor McGregor did that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think once you start talking about people's kids and people's families and the person's wife, now you really cross the line. You
Yeah,
really,
no, I understand. Agree with that. It was just weird because Lennox Lewis had no kids, so it's like, so it was just weird.
yeah.
F says, "What's going on, F? How you doing?" He said,
What's up, F? What's up,
he
bro?
said that they go through a lot. Majority of the time, the talk is just to sell fights. I agree with that too.
I mean I agree with that too, F. But like I said before, once you start talking about their family, it's not talk to sell fights anymore. You are seriously trying to get personal, and really trying to get um into the person's feelings if you know what I mean, if you will.
Yeah,
But I mean, no, hey, yeah, it was a little heated. I actually enjoyed this topic, but at the end of the day, my last thing I want to say before we move on to the next one. At the end, do I think that Wilder probably changed? I actually hope that he did. I really do hope that he changed. And if you're right that he did change, then good for him. And because it's always good to leave a positive image, because you're constantly being shown on TV. You're obviously famous and you're having lots of money. And if something like this really bothers you, where it's going to make you cry, then listen, you're only human, and I 100% get that. But the only thing I will say is I really do hope that we will see consistency regarding that going forward.
right,
What do you have to say?
no, nothing. Like it just, it is what it is, man. All right, well, next topic. That's you again.
It's me.
Mm-hmm.
Crap. Is that the NHL?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so all right, this one I'm gonna.
I think this is the first time we've ever talked about NHL on this podcast.
And you know what's funny? I always constantly try to get into it, but it's just so I don't know. I don't really necessarily see it being ads on TV that much. And frankly, honestly, to be honest with you, I don't really know what channel it's on. Like I don't know. Do you know the channel that NHL is on? Because it's not ESPN.
They have games on ESPN.
At least not to my knowledge.
They have games on ESPN.
Okay. Well, other than that, then I don't know, bro. But yeah, what other channel is it on?
I mean, if you want to watch the Panthers play, they play on Bally.
Okay. Well, anyway, the reason why we're talking about the NHL on here is because this is I find this to be very interesting. So apparently, the NHL, uh, crap, where is it? Um, crap, I don't need you guys anymore. Um, is it this one? Crap, what happened to it? Okay, I think here it is. So the NHL releases first diversity. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the NHL releases first diversity and inclusion report among league offices of 32 teams. Um, what the heck is going on here, dude?
No, that's you, man.
No, dude, it's not me. I'm not doing anything. Okay, I'm trying to close this thing. All right, anyway. All right, so for the NHL to improve its workplace diversity, it first had to find a benchmark. Following the league's board of governors meeting Tuesday, the NHL released its first ever diversity inclusion report among the league's office and 32 teams. The goal, NHL Executive Vice President of Social Impact and Growth Initiatives Kim Davis said, is to create a starting point that the league can measure and hold itself accountable against over the coming years. We have this baseline from now to launch, Davis told USA Today Sports. She added, you can't know where you're going unless you know where you are. I think that was the real reason and purpose when I shared the idea with Commissioner Gray Bettman, an
Gary,
owner.
Gary Bettman.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, owners of ultimately producing this report. It's not to have a nice glossy report. It's for us to be transparent regarding where we are across all these important dimensions that we know ultimately lead to increased fandom. Okay, so she goes on. Okay, this is the part that I think is really important. According to the data compiled earlier this year, 83.6% of the league employees identify as white. Asian people were the next highest group, represented 4.17, while Black and Hispanics people make up to 3.74 and 3.71, respectively, of staff. Um, Indigenous and
Androgynous.
yeah, persons account for 0.5 of the workplace. Five clubs do not have a form of functioning diversity and inclusion group. Um, All right. Let me see if there's anything else that's important here. Um, as we want to build a pipeline of more elite um, PI BIPOC Black ingenuous people of color players so that the funnel grows, you get more out of the funnel when the funnel is larger, Davis said. You got to have more coaches of color representation count. Oh, okay, all right. I'm gonna read the last part, but this is what I need to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Read the last part and then say what you have to say.
you want to read the last paragraph or
Yeah, just
both?
read the last paragraph. Let's get it. Let's get the article over with.
All right. The NHL has introduced a series of programs to expose players to different viewpoints. More than 40 women have participated in the NFL officiating exposure combined through 2022. The past offseason, Mike Greer, I think that's how you say it.
Yeah, and that's why he's Dolphins. He's the Dolphin GM brother.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Became the first black general manager in league history with the San Jose Sharks. In 2022, six women, all white, were named assistant general managers. In the coaching space, certain clubs have diverse coaching or scouting internship programs. The demographic data is more diverse when assessing full time internship and fellowship programs. Blacks 13.97%, Asians 11.76%, Hispanics and Latino 5.88%. And I think I don't want to read the rest of this
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, it's fine.
I don't want to read the rest of this stuff. Yeah, if that's fine. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. This part I'll get back to real quick. Okay. All right. This is the part that that I find very 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 stupid. Right? You mean to tell me that you want to have more diversity, All right, you wouldn't have more diversity and all this other stuff. I've always said from the very beginning, regardless of what job or what sport, the color, the person's sexuality, all of that stuff is irrelevant to me. What's relevant is how good you are at your job, how good you are at the sport. That's the most important thing. Can you do your job to make my team, to make my city, whatever, win? That's the most important thing. Not color, not this and that, not this and that. It's supposed to be a meritocracy exclusively. That's what it's supposed to be about. You're not making the sport better by having diversity in your hockey teams. You're not. What
That's
makes
that's
your
that's, that's absolutely what you just said was stupid. But I'll explain in a second. Continue.
you could say what I'm saying is stupid if you want, but we all know at the end of the day, whether if it's the NHL or in the NBA, they
That's
don't
what,
care.
the NBA is the reason why what you said was stupid.
They don't care about that. They care about winning. At the end
Okay.
of the day, you care about winning.
Okay.
You're not if you had no one's going to say, oh, you know what, we shouldn't draft this guy, because of his color. No, you draft the guy because if he's good or not. That's why the guys get drafted if they are good, not because of their skin color. It's because of their ability. If it's because if they are going to do whatever they need to do to make your team better. Other stuff is just an added bonus that's unnecessary to me. Why did you say that what I said doesn't make sense?
Okay. You look at the NBA. Sorry about that. Look at the NBA, right? A league that at one point, I would say, was criticized for being too black, even though they didn't want to say it, but they were criticized for being too black, right? So the 80s come, they see all this generational talent that comes in with Magic, Bird, and MJ and all the other players, whatever. So the league starts to gain popularity. And then in 92, something interesting happened. You want to guess what that was?
In '92,
Mm-hmm.
tell me.
The Dream Team. The Dream Team happened, right?
That's okay.
So they come in. They collect when you talk about top to bottom, arguably the greatest collection of NBA players ever assembled. Now, mind you, some of those players were past their prime, but regardless, when you have a team full of Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Scottie Pippen, David Robinson, and all those other guys, phenomenal players, the best of the best.
Okay.
They go to Spain, they dominate, right? They completely dominate. But you know what they did? You know what they also did? They changed the sport forever. Why? Because they turned it into a global game.
Okay.
Got people from all these other countries, from Spain, from Japan, from China, all saw that team and wanted to be like those players. You don't do that if you don't try to be inclusive when it comes to showing off the game. When you open the pipeline to a sport to a new group of people, that's how you build growth. That's why you have your Mono Ginobili's, your Dirk Nowitzki's, your Nikola Jokic. That's where Yao Ming. Think about it like this: what arguably there's the NBA's second biggest market is China, and you know who helped with that? Yao Ming. Like, so what you're saying about, it should be a meritocracy and all the other shit, like what you said was dumb. Because here's the problem with the NHL. As great as the sport is and as diverse as the sport is when it comes to, European talent, the facts are is that the sport would be better benefited if it was more inclusive. It just makes sense. Do I think that they're trying to be? Do I think they're trying to be inclusive? They're trying, and there's more black players in the league now than there've ever been. But even then, like you said, it's like what 3%? and that's the highest it's ever been, but it's still at 3%. And you can't tell me that if you can bring talent from other countries outside of the United States, Canada, and Europe, that's not going to benefit the NFL, the NHL. It absolutely will. It absolutely will benefit the NHL. But in order to do that, you need a baseline. You need a starting point, and that's what they're doing right now with this report. With this report, you need a base. You need a starting point. That's what you need. Like that's why I said what I said to you, because it makes no sense not to be more inclusive. All you're doing is growing the sport. That's all you're doing. You're just growing the sport. And if you can still get, you know, white, like if you could get Americans, Canadians to still play the sport, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If white people want to play the sport, that's fine. If you have a black kid who wants to play, the environment has to be favorable for him to play. You need something to inspire them to play the sport that you want to grow. That's why you need all these people in these areas. That's why you need to be more inclusive to help grow the sport. Because at the end of the day, that's what the NFL doing, bringing all these fucking games to Europe. That's exactly why they're doing it. They want to bring the game to more people to grow the sport. Why? Because at the end of the day, they want what the Super Bowl is. They want it to be the World Cup, where everyone across the globe is watching. That's what the NFL wants. They already conquered America. They already got our money, right? But now they want to go all over the globe.
All right. Let me tell you how I'm going to get you right now. You mentioned guys like Manu Ginobili, you mentioned Dirk Nowitzki, and you mentioned Yao Ming. And you know what? I'm going to put as a bonus. Let me put Jeremy Lin in there also. He had a decent, well, at least for a couple of
He
years.
had a decent 25 games. Get over that. He had 25 games.
He had a decent year. He had a decent year.
Decent 25 games. You put him in the same category of all the players that I mentioned is a disgrace.
He had a decent year. He had a decent year. All right, you want me to take? Fine. I'll take him out. I'll take him out.
This go on with your point. What do you have to say to combat what I said?
Yeah. The reason why Dirk Nowitzki, Yao Ming, and Manu Ginobili came into the league was because they were good. That's why they came into the league, because those were good basketball players. That's why. What got
them to play basketball, Steve?
It had nothing to do with them being European,
what got them to play basketball?
Chinese.
What got them to play basketball?
What got them in the league? What got them in
obviously their talent. That's not the argument I'm making.
That's the most important thing. It's because they were talented. It was because they were good.
What motivated them to play basketball? Because to my knowledge, I think Nowitzki said he could have played soccer if he wanted to. And he's from Germany, where soccer, to my knowledge, is the number one sport in Germany. It's soccer. So the dream team happened, and he said that he was motivated by the dream team, which is the entire point of all of this. No one is arguing that you need to be good to play. Trust me, if you're good, you'll play. There's no argument there. The idea is to grow the sport, to get 2-year-old Tyrone to love hockey so that he can play it someday. That's what they want. It's not about if you're the best guy, you're the best guy. You're not gonna play because you're a certain race. That's not how that works. What all they want to do is grow the sport. That's it.
That sounds like that's what it sounds like to me.
Of course, it sounds like that to you because because you look at things in black and white. Because the thing is they use the buzzword like diversity, which pisses you off. Therefore, you don't understand what they're actually trying to do.
No, at the end of the day, Habanel, who we 186. At the end of the day, those guys were good at playing the game. It had nothing. It had nothing to do because of their race. It has only to do because those guys were special.
No one mentioned anything about the
Yao
race.
Ming was special. Dirk Nowitzki was special. That's how he was able to play basketball. That's how he was able to be in the NBA because they were good. That and it's cut and dry. That's how it is.
That's not what I said.
That's how it is. All this we have to make inclusion this, inclusion that. How about just bring the best talent into your league? That's what you should do. Just bring in whoever is the best. And if your goal is to have more blacks, more Hispanics, more Asians, whatever. Listen, if black people are more interested in playing in the NBA and the NFL, like it is what it is. You just can't simply change that. And I'm gonna call hypocrisy on you because when we were talking about of the Olympics, of why we don't really have that many blacks doing like the snowboarding events and things like that, you said it yourself. You said, "Oh, well, you can't just tell them or try to encourage them to play these sport if they're not interested. If they're not interested, they're not interested. If you and if blacks are more interested in doing track and field and gymnastics, and that's what they want to do, and they don't want to do anything else, it is what it is. Why can't the same thing apply for hockey?
Because
Well,
they want to grow
why?
the sport. They want to grow the sport. They want to grow the sport. Like they're a business.
You can't force people to do something that they don't want to do. You can't just force them.
If you teach them the game, and they don't want to do it, then they're fine. They don't want to do it. It is what it is. But you tell me that every black person doesn't want to play hockey?
Leaving at that. Just leave it
If
at
you if you think every black person doesn't want to play hockey, you're just going to make a blanket statement like that.
No, how is it blanket when they said it's only less? It's like 3%. It's not.
All right, but it ain't nobody. It ain't zero. It's 3%, but it ain't zero.
Okay, but it's almost
and the number has constantly gone up.
It's almost zero. It's almost zero.
The number has gone up.
It's almost zero.
The number has gone up.
It's still almost zero, isn't it?
The number has gone up.
It's still almost zero.
The number has gone up.
And it's still almost
the number has gone up.
And it's still almost zero.
Right? Then you know what? Then you're a bad businessman. Then you're a bad businessman.
You could know because I actually follow reality. You don't. I follow reality. I know you have to understand what people want, and if what the people want is to play something else, it is what it is. It is what it is. We had the exact same stupid argument when people was trying to explain, well, why don't we have more females that do electrician jobs or plumbing jobs? Want to know why? Because they're not interested in doing those jobs. That's why.
But if you
have someone that wants to do it,
then you teach them. If you have someone who wants to do it, you teach them.
The reason why jobs like electric jobs, roofers, engineers, etc., plumbers, landscapers, all of those jobs are predominantly, majority of them are men.
No shit.
Less than 1% are women. Less.
No shit.
Why? Because they're not interested in those jobs. And if black people, Hispanic people are not interested in the NHL, it is what it is. You can't just force them because for the sake of inclusion. They're not interested. That's why. Get over it. All this inclusion nonsense that people are talking about doesn't make any sense, and it's a waste of time.
You're a bad businessman then.
It's a waste of time. No, I actually follow reality.
You're willing to stick to the status quo because you don't know how businesses work. You don't.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Okay.
You don't.
Okay.
But I
understand the sport more than you do.
It doesn't matter if you understand the sport more than I do.
Then don't say that. Don't say you know more than me. You don't know, then you don't know. Don't say you know more than me. Don't say you don't know more than me.
The numbers is there. The numbers is there.
That's the starting point.
It doesn't matter. It's a fact.
They're trying to make it grow. That's just how it is. They want to make it grow. Now, if you don't think it's gonna work, that's one thing. But to say that they don't try, that's stupid.
It is stupid.
It's stupid to say that, because at the end of the day, you're a bad businessman. Because if you're willing to just accept the status quo and leave your business the way it is, then the sport's gonna die. It's gonna wither away.
Now, once again, you have no idea what you're talking about. The sport is going to die.
Yeah.
The NFL and the NBA is doing fine.
I'm talking about the NHL.
So they're dying right now.
I'm not saying they're dying, but like if you're not willing to go to the sport, then the sport's dying. If you're not willing to go to the sport.
Listen, if the sport is fine, the sport is fine. If a particular sport attracts a particular demographic, that it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about that.
Okay.
The same thing applies with the Olympics. I find it very interesting that you are okay with that when it comes to the Olympics. Oh, but with the NHL, this is a very good idea. It's a wonderful idea.
I don't care about the idea. I don't give a shit about it. I just know what it is. I know why they're doing it. I'm not saying I'm not arguing whether or not it's going to work or not. I'm just telling you that that's what they're doing because they see other sports doing it.
It's a waste of time. In my opinion, it's a waste of time.
That's fine. That's fine. If you want to feel that way, that's fine. Then that's fine.
It's a waste of, to me. This is just a waste of time. The most important thing that you have to do is attract the best players in your team, in your league. That's the thing you have to do, and that's it.
You can do
hold on. And if the person happens to be white, Black, Hispanic, Asian, Indian, Native American, then so be it.
But here's the thing: what you just said that was dumb. If you don't try to grow the sport, you're not going to get the Blacks, the Hispanics, or any of those other people to get to play the sport. If you don't get those people to play the sport, you're not going to get people who will look like them to watch the sport. The goal is to grow the fucking sport.
Look, you could curse all you want to. At the end of the day, it is what it is, bro.
No, you're wrong. You're just wrong.
I mean, you can say I'm wrong, but the facts is on my side, not yours.
No, it's not.
The facts are on my side. That's why we have less blacks for a reason.
But it's growing more and more.
Thank you.
It's growing more and more every year. It's growing more and more over the decade.
It's 3%.
Okay, and it's going up. The number is going up. It's never going to be 50%. It's never going to be 50%.
Oh, why? Why is that, Heaven? No, why is it never going to reach that?
Why is it never going to reach that? Because they have players from all across the globe, from Europe. Like most of the players who identify as white are from Europe, from Russian countries who black population is less than 1%.
Okay. So the people from Europe who happen to be white are more interested in the sport. That's why we have more whites. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Is that the same percentage in this country? Is that the same percentage in this country?
You said they're white.
No, answer the question. Is that the same percentage in this country? Last time I checked, the NHL is an American company. Yes or no? Okay. Their goal is to expand the sport in this country. That's their goal. But they accept players from all across the globe. They can't help what goes on in Russia and Ukraine and any other country that has European players. They can't help that.
Okay.
And besides, they have leagues in those countries that are actually very competitive to the NHL.
Well,
the goal is to grow the sport in this country. In this country and in Canada. Because I think if I'm not mistaken, most of the black hockey players are Canadian. And their goal is to make sure that there's more of them. They want to attract more minority to the sport. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said before, if you don't think it's gonna work, then that's fine. That doesn't mean they shouldn't try.
Would you feel Do you think we need more whites in the NBA or in the NFL?
If they can play, sure, why not?
No. Do we need more? Do we need more whites? And do we need more whites in those sports? Because obviously they're predominantly black. So do we need more whites?
I mean, can they play? Can they play or can't they play? So basically what you're saying is that we need more white people in those sports. That's what you're saying, right?
No. See, no, I see, because I was going to catch you.
No.
I was going to catch you. Your response. No, I did catch you.
I'm going to catch you right now. I'm going to catch you right now.
Your answer is, can they play? That's what your answer. Can they play?
But here's the difference.
Which means the race is irrelevant.
No. Here's the difference.
Irrelevant.
Here's the difference. How many black owners do we have in the NFL?
Oh my! Get the hell out of here, dude! Like, are you freaking serious?
How many? Who? What color is the commissioner of the NFL?
He's white. And
oh my god. Let me read some comments, bro. Like, okay.
And yeah, because you know.
No, you want me to explain it to you? You want me to legitimately explain it to you?
You're the one that's laughing.
Why do you think most black players play football and basketball? To make money.
You could do that with just about in any sport, no?
Yeah, of course, no shit. You could do that in any sport, but most black players come from impoverished areas.
Okay.
And where in impoverished areas, who lives in those areas more often than not?
I mean, there's race in every area.
Okay, so. No shit. Who lives in those more often and more than anywhere else?
I mean, blacks.
So if a guy who's black, likes to play basketball, like to play football, whatever, it's an easy path for them to make a whole bunch of money. Most white people don't go through that. They can just, most of them can play because it's they love the sport. Most of them, I don't think
you understand what you're saying. I think
I know exactly what I just said.
You don't know what you're saying.
No, I know exactly what I just said. It's just that you don't agree with me.
No, you don't know.
Even though you said that, it's mostly black people who live in poor areas.
You said, they're doing that to make money. They could easily do that in the NHL or
I'm not saying like, first of all, they have to actually learn how to play the game in order to play. The problem is that you don't have a lot of NHL programs in those impoverished areas. Okay. And that's one of the things that they need to fix. And I think geography matters too, because like you said, most people of color live in hot areas. But you look at what's going on with the reason why and part of the reason why the NHL expanded down south was to grow the sport. That's why we have a team down here. Even though it doesn't snow down here. Does it ever make sense to you that Florida had a hockey team?
You said, does it make sense?
It doesn't make sense.
I mean, sure.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense at all. But why did they do it? To grow the sport. That's why they did it. And what they're doing is just an expansion of that. So again, let me read some comments and then we can continue on. All right. Nolan said we had two. How you doing, Nolan? We had two high caliber playoff teams in the state. One of which won the cup. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about those fucking Lightning.
Well, what's the problem?
I hate that fucking team.
Why?
Because they're rivals.
No. Okay.
I hate the fucking Lightning. He also said that you hate diversity and thinks women and POCs are just given jobs as tokens.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it could be that too, but like I said before, if a guy who's white has a job and he's not good at it, then what's the difference? Like, what's the difference?
No, my original position, Nolan, was that if you're good at the job, you're good at the job, regardless if you are regardless if you're a different color or not.
Oh,
But there's a reason there but there's a reason why but there's a reason why we have African Americans are more prone to join the NBA, the NFL, or gymnastics and track and field than anything else. There's a reason for that. They are just more interested in doing. To me, I think it's just preference. They just prefer to do those sports than anything else.
but if someone introduces them to hockey, and there's a chance that they may like it, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. No one said that Lin is American. I thought he is American, but he's of Chinese descent.
Yeah,
But the sport has been expanded to the region and but the sport has been expanded to their region and grow the sport. Like I said, Jim Thorpe was dope at all three sports. I think I heard of him before.
I have no idea who that is.
Build the interest. If baseball hadn't grown, no Big Papi, no Ichiro. 100%.
I don't know what that means.
What do you mean we don't know what that means? The baseball used to be an all white sport, and
Well,
then
from last time, I think the last person I think it was you, and I think it was Saul when we was at his house. You said they still majority of them are white anyway.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
to baseball.
yeah. But they used to have a lot more
No,
black
no,
players than they do now.
you said my bad. You said white and Hispanics
Yeah,
are mainly there than blacks.
yeah. But the thing is that they when the baseball was finally decided to integrate, the sport became better because of it. Because you had great players from all over the world coming into play in Major League Baseball, and all that does is help the sport. All that does is help the sport because you have Shohei Ohtani fans from Japan who come here to watch him play. We even saw it down here with Ichiro. The Marlins, they don't draw flies. They don't draw flies. But when Ichiro came in, he had his contingent of Japanese fans coming in to cheer for him and in turn cheer for the Marlins.
Mm-hmm.
They grew their audience. So when you grow the sport in other countries, in other areas that's not privy to the sport, all you're doing is helping grow the sport, and that's all the main goal is. That's all the main goal is. Like no one continues. STEM had grown exponentially among whites and PLCs, and he said that
He said women.
yeah. Oh,
Women,
yeah.
women. But he said STEM. STEM is what?
Like pretty much he means like just growing the sport, like giving opportunity for people to grow the sport, like yeah, pretty much what you said among women and I don't know who PLCs are.
Mm-hmm.
People of color. Okay. People of color. Yeah, if you give them the avenue to do to learn and then do, then you're expanding you're expanding your audience. You're expanding your brand. And he agreed with me. Of course you do. Of course you agree with me, Nolan, because you know what you're talking about, and I know what I'm talking about. So shout out to you. I also, how many children were inspired by Holly Bailey as Ariel? Oh man, don't get this dude started.
No, we're not gonna go there.
But
We're not
anything when it comes to, and here's the thing that I will say when it comes to that, and when it comes to sports, right? When it comes to Ariel, whatever, like it don't bother me because I don't care about watching the fucking Little Mermaid. Don't fucking care, right? And you have people who use color as a way to as what you said, to inspire to inspire young people, young African Americans. Do I feel like they can do it in other ways? Yeah, I do. Do I think that Ariel need to be black in order for you to inspire black women? No, I don't. I don't think she has to be black to do it. Like I don't think yeah you could like you always mentioned they could always make something new with a black actress. They can always do that. But when it comes to the NHL, they can't hold on to that same stagnant being stagnant like that. They can't. Their goal is to grow the sport. That's all. You can argue what they did with Ariel is basically just a marketing ploy. You can argue that.
It's all propaganda. That's it.
Hey, you can argue that. But when it comes to the NHL or any other sport, their goal is to grow the sport, to expand the sport, to make the sport better. And more people from other countries bringing in their flavor into the sport, it only makes it better. Only makes it better. It only makes it better because I like I said before. You look at the infusion of European talent in the NBA. Like it makes it better. Like Luka Doncic is probably gonna win MVP this year. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at guys like Nikola Jokic, two-time MVP. Like 20, 30 years ago, you didn't see that. You didn't see that. It was either black or white dude winning the award, mainly black dude. But now you have an infusion of great talent from Europe coming in and bringing a different flavor to the game, and that's a great thing. That's a great thing. And if that motivates a white dude to play the sport, that's perfectly fine. I don't have a problem with that. But the thing is that you're better off expanding the sport. That's what the NHL want to do. They want to expand the sport. That's why the all the stuff that's going on right now. They want to expand the sport and they need a benchmark to kind of see how they're progressing. All right. Ruben said that Tiger Woods grew golf among blacks and Asians. Dwayne grew wrestling among the same two demographics. I think when it comes to Tiger Woods, I think he was supposed to do that. I think he was supposed to. I don't know. I don't know if they were able to really accomplish their goal because playing golf professionally is very expensive. Very expensive to play golf professionally. And like I said before, like golf is a rich people's game, and most of the people who are rich are white. That's just how it is. And I want and I think Tiger Woods being a thing, what is supposed hopefully would have changed. I don't know. I don't know if he really did or not, but I would argue like look, one of the top golf analysts out there is black, and I don't know if I don't know if that would exist without Tiger. You know what I'm saying? So like I said before, like having representation is important. It is important. That's why in being in trying to grow the sport with minorities is important. That's why they do it. He said that it's too hot to play ice hockey. Me personally, like it's too like hockey is a very like when you say that when it comes to hockey, right? I've always heard that watching hockey live is a lot better than watching it on TV because it's hard to find the puck on TV and stuff like that, and it has a weird angle and stuff like that. That's what I've always heard. But and when you go into an ice hockey rink, it is very cold, very very cold. It naturally has to be. No, we are prone to these sports because we have our heroes, we have our Ewings and Abdul Jabbars and Big Poppies and Woods and Williams sisters. We need our black strikers in soccer and hockey. I mean, he's not wrong.
I don't think it's a need. Like I don't think that is something that we need in order, for the sport to continue to remain relevant. I don't think it's something that we need.
So
I
that
mean,
means
I think the sport will I think the sport will do fine regardless.
I mean, it's not about the sport. It's not about the sport doing fine. It's not about that. For when it comes to you, that's not about that. Like you're happy that the NHL makes money if you don't watch the sport.
No, that I don't. If they make money, that's fine. I
All right,
don't
but
care.
what you just said didn't make any sense to me. All right, repeat what you just said. Let me see if I can try to understand it better.
If
You said
they if they make money, that's fine. Like
no,
that
no,
go.
no, no. You said that we don't need a version of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in hockey.
No, what I said is the sport will be fine regardless. Is what I'm trying to say. Like they'll be fine regardless. Like if we have more blacks in hockey, fine. If we don't, fine.
So
I
you're
mean that's pretty much that's just pretty much how it is. Because at the end of the day, if we have people who are actually interested in playing hockey, they would play. If we had people that wanted to play soccer or baseball, they would play. But I honestly believe the reason why we have people, particularly African Americans, partaking in the NFL, the NBA, and track and field than anything else is because that's what they're more interested in. I honestly believe they are more interested in doing that than playing hockey. Than
but you don't make no money in track and field though.
um
Unless you're like Olympic gold medalist, you ain't making money doing that.
yeah, most of them are making pretty much good money. They're always at the very least in the million marker.
All right, but you can make more money playing hockey than doing track and field. Like I said, unless you're like the top one, unless you're Usain Bolt. But other than that, like you can
But
make
yeah,
more
yeah.
money.
Well, but the thing is, when it comes to hockey, I think hockey will be more difficult for you to succeed than track and field, though.
So it could be like you never know. But to me, I just think that discounting the effect that at least what the Williams sisters has done to the sport of tennis, like you're just pretty much dismissing it by saying, "Oh, the sport is going to be fine regardless." And I'm like, I don't know if that's true. I mean, it'll be fine. Don't get like it'll exist, but I don't think I think you're diminishing the impact that having two black women dominate the sport for like 20 years have on the sport and the residual effect that it could have. Because I mean, look, you look at right now we have Coco Graf, Naomi, and then I mean there could be more coming down the pipeline.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't think that happens without the emergence of the Williams sisters. All right. So continuing on, I think he meant STEM, which you said men do their job when it's becoming more diverse.
You understand that? I'm not really sure. I don't really follow.
I mean, you're the one that believes in the ideology.
I think he meant STEM. I keep forgetting what STEM means. But um, when you said men do these jobs when it's becoming more diverse, if you talk when I say the jobs that predominantly are men, like like plumbing, electrician, engineering, etc., what I'm trying to say is they have been programs, especially for engineering and electricians. Like there's programs that's trying to encourage more women to partake in these jobs. Just the thing is, women are just not interested. They prefer to do jobs like going into the medical field or going into law, and becoming lawyers and stuff like that, or becoming teachers, social work. That's where you see majority of the women go to the
And
medical field. But as much as they try to encourage women to become engineers or plumbers, they're just not interested. Not that they're incapable of doing those jobs, they just don't want to. It's all about preference.
right. And Ruben said that street hockey was my sport. Um, I think I played that one time. I think
I played street hockey when I was like in middle school.
but tell you, ice hockey that sport is dangerous, man. Like you have to have your head on a swivel time and time again.
I think hockey is the hardest sport of all sports.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I know
well,
you say it's baseball, but I think hockey is the hardest by watching.
I think it definitely is among the hardest because I mean, yeah, the thing that these guys go through is crazy. But anyway, what okay, what's your final thoughts on this?
Yeah, my final thoughts is, yeah, I'm pretty much gonna stick in my same position. I'm pretty sure you are too. Is it nice that you have more diverse I guess cultures, race and whatnot? Yes, it's nice, but at the end of the day, if the person is good, you bring them in. If they're not good, it doesn't matter what race they are. So at the end of the day, it's all about who is the best player, in my opinion. That's what all it's about. It's about meritocracy. It's about who's better. It's about who's far superior. That's really the most important thing because you're trying to win. You're trying to win. And if the person is qualified enough, then hey, then take him regardless if he's white or black. But that's it.
Okay. And my thoughts are simple. They're just using this as a benchmark to grow the sport and to diversify the sport. Every company does it. It's not that big of a deal to me. I get it. So it is what it is.
All right.
Okay, last topic.
Oh, I thought we were done. Oh,
No,
my
no,
bad.
no. Last topic. One more topic.
Mm.
We go to our boy Adam Silver. So let me get to this.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Now I remember. I remember.
Okay. This is oh shit. I exited out for some reason.
Yeah, you did the same mistake I did.
Now let's go to the history. If I can find it here. Uh, hmm. Okay, that's fine. Let me just just give me a moment. Okay, Adam Silver. I got it. Okay, Adam Silver says he wasn't deadly serious about NBA implementing regulation. Now, for those of you who don't know what regulation is, relegation. My bad, relegation. There's a big difference. For those of you who don't know what regulation is, right? If you watch European sports or more specifically European soccer, and this is a thing where here's what happens, right? Now, in European soccer, let's take the Premier League for example, right? You have 20 teams, like between 16 to 20 teams play in a league, right? Let me actually, I'll explain it better this way. Let me look at the Premier League table. All right. Let's look at this because it'll explain a lot better what what relegation is. All right. So we have the league table right here. Let me see if I can get the standings in full. Okay. So for example, you have a 20 team league, right? As you see right here, and you look at pretty much this is all one league. There's not no playoffs, no nothing. This is just 20 teams playing each other throughout the season, right? At the end of the season, you see these teams up top here.
Mm-hmm.
They qualify to compete in a championship called the Champions League. It's like a huge tournament in soccer where all the best European teams from each league, the top 5 teams, they go into the Champions League and they compete to win the Champions League title, right?
But that's in each league is doing that is what
Yeah,
you're saying, and then they compete each other.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, for example, if you have the NBA and some other league in China, whatever, the top 4 teams in that league will compete with each other and whatever. So now relegation.
Yeah, but wait. The top four team, for example, the top four team in the NBA,
Mhm.
the top four of those team will compete against the top four in China.
In another league to compete in another tournament, and whoever wins that tournament, whatever.
Yeah, so the four teams in the NBA will not face each other. They will face other leagues.
No, they'll still face each other, but they'll be
Okay, okay,
participating in other leagues.
okay, okay.
All right. So the relegation is actually what goes on at the bottom of the table. Right. The bottom three teams actually get relegated to another league, to a lower league, and three teams on and the top three teams on the other league and the secondary league gets pushed up to the main league. If you do you understand what I'm saying?
Not really. Go
Okay,
ahead.
all right. Okay. The way, pretty much what it is that the okay. So you have four. Okay, and I think in English they have like four leagues, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're all connected, right? It's pretty much like you have League One, League Two, League Three, League Four.
Yeah.
The top teams in each league gets promoted to the top league. Like this league right here is the top league in England. Like this is the highest you can go,
Yeah.
right? This is the highest you can go. The bottom three teams here gets relegated to the second tier league.
Okay. Second tier.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then the top three teams that won in that second tier gets moved up to the top tier.
Yeah.
So they pretty much switch leagues.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what relegation is, right? Now Adam Silver, I'll read the article. Right, Adam Silver, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, further pushed back against the concept of adopting a European soccer style relegation system, telling ESPN's Malika Andrews on Monday. I
Yeah.
can't say I was deadly serious when he said the league had considered such an idea. Over the weekend, during a meeting with Phoenix Suns employees, Silver said that the league had kicked around the idea of relegation as a way to combat teams tanking for a better draft position, according to ESPN's Braxton Holmes. Now you know the player that they're trying to go after, right? That
Yeah.
everyone.
The 7 foot the big guy, the real big guy.
I think his name is Wambanyamba. I forgot his first name, but yeah, the dude's like 7'5", doing
Yeah.
crossovers and shooting threes, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. He's pretty much like another version of Yao Ming, like because Yao Ming was like 7'4", 7'5",
Yeah,
something like
but
that. So
Yao Ming didn't do all that. Yao
no, no,
Ming,
no, 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 no. He wasn't. Yao, yeah, Yao Ming wasn't doing all that. No.
yeah. They're I like outside of Kevin Durant, I don't see other 7-footers doing what this kid's doing. So naturally,
Well, Giannis.
yeah. You can say Giannis, but even still, like this dude's shooting threes. Like this dude's nuts, man. This dude's skill level is nuts, and a lot of teams are probably going to try to tank to get him.
Yes.
So he brought up the idea of relegation, even though I knew it was never going to pass. If he was being serious about it, it would never pass.
Oh, you don't think it would have passed anyway?
No, because the owners are not going to do that.
Okay.
The owners are not going to stand by that. They stand to lose way too much money for it.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're never going to do it. Me, however, I actually wish they would do it. I actually wish they would do it.
Really?
Because I like the idea of relegation. If your team sucks that bad, you don't deserve to be in the NBA.
Yeah. Wow, Hoovy. That's a stretch, man.
I'm just being real.
That's a stretch.
Because if the NBA had adopted relegation, what would happen is whoever the bottom teams are in the NBA, they will get pushed down to the G League.
Yeah.
You take the top three teams in the G League and push them up to the main league. If it worked that way, but obviously most G leagues are just developmental anyway, so it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. What they would do if they were serious is split the league in half. That's what they would do. They would split the league in half.
Well, how would that solve anything?
No. I'm not saying if they wanted to do it, that's what they would do. And be like the top teams, playing the top league in the second. It like I said, they would never do it. I would like to see them do it, but they would never do it.
But it seems like what he's trying to do is pretty much punish the teams for trying to tank.
No, honestly, he pushed back on it, but I think he was just toying around. Um,
Ooh, I don't know if you would toy around with something like that. I don't think so. I think he said that as a way to grab people's attention so that to persuade them not to tank anymore.
that's what he don't want them to do. But at the end of the day, they're going like look if a team wants Wabinyaba, they're going to get him. They're going to try to get him through tanking. That's what they're going to do.
Oh, are you going to read the rest of the article?
No, there's not much to say about the article.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was interesting. I was hoping you would read the rest of it.
let me see. Okay. Let me bring it back. Let me pop it back up. Oh my bad. Wrong one. He said that the idea would be that the NBA's worst two teams were relegated to the G League each season, while the G League's best two franchises were promoted to the NBA each year. So
Hmm.
pretty much that would be the case. But during those remarks, Silver said such a system would be destabilizing for the NBA. It would be so disrupt. It would so disrupt our business model. He added, and even though you took two teams from the G League, that wouldn't be equipped to compete in the NBA.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with him there. I agree with him there. And you have to deal with like contracts and stuff like that. And this is a whole big mess. He did say that the league was concerned about tanking and would continue to adopt and in effect a disincentive let me start over. To it would adapt in an effort to de-incentivize that disincentive to practice, however, is something that we have to watch for, Silver said. A draft is in principle a good system, but I get it, especially when there is a sense that a once in a lifetime generational player is coming along, like we have this year. Teams are smarter, they are creative, and they respond. We move, they move, so we're always looking to see what there's yet a better system. He said that relegation works in English football partly because a club system naturally formed around communities in the country with 92 clubs in the top four divisions of football pyramid and thousands of clubs in the country overall. That means England has an established tier of leagues already in place, making it far easier to relegate clubs to remain financially stable. The NBA, meanwhile, has no real framework in place outside of the G League, which is essentially its version of a minor league system.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it for the article. That's it for the article. But
Uh,
yeah, like go ahead.
yeah, like in my opinion, the only way for you to prevent, from tank to prevent teams, from tanking, I think the like you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't necessarily think there is a way for you to stop a team, from tanking because the reward is all, or I should say the consolation prize is always going to be that they get a nice draft pick.
Well, the way they've done it in the past is with the lottery. That's why the lottery exists. That's why the draft lottery exists. Because if not, then naturally the guy who gets to the team that gets the first pick should be the team that had the worst record.
Yeah, but that's not. But the person with the team with the lowest record is still not guaranteed to get the first pick though.
Yeah, because of the draft lottery. That's why.
Yeah.
But
So go ahead.
yeah, no, but in theory, that would be the case because the idea is that if the worst team gets the best player from the draft to help them improve. That's the idea.
Yeah, but if you would do an expansion to where, let's say, instead of, because I believe, isn't it like the three worst teams? Isn't it the three worst teams get?
Well, in the Premier League, yeah. in the Premier League, yeah, and mostly in most European leagues, yeah. Oh, you mean? Oh, you're talking about the lottery?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, the draft lottery. The same three teams get the highest get the highest odds. Yeah.
yeah. I think the only way for you to stop tanking is if you increase it to 3 to 5.
Oh, yeah, that could be true. Or I mean,
Because what would be the incentive to tank if four other teams has a chance to get just as much as I do? There won't be no point to tank anymore.
I I guess just to me, I just think that I just think that I don't think there I don't think there's really anything you can do as long as you have a draft. There's nothing you can do. The teams are always going to find ways to always going to find ways to be in position.
My
Hey,
bad.
you?
Yeah, it was a stupid ad.
Yeah. Teams are always going to find ways to you
Tank.
know, yeah, they're always going to find ways.
So there's pretty much nothing. So what you're saying, like, there's pretty much nothing that you could do. They're going to find a way to tank, to get the guy, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, there's really nothing. As long as you can, as long as you continue to do a draft, teams are always going to find a way to get into the best position to do the draft.
Have you seen highlights of this guy? The 7 footer
Yeah,
guy.
I actually watched a game that he was in.
How impressed were you?
I was very impressed. What impressed me most about him is that he looked comfortable in his frame. Like I remember back in the day looking at Manute Bowl. Like it looked like it hurt for him to run.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was like 7'7". Same thing with Bob Bradley. A lot of these guys look awkward running up and down the court. He don't look
Yeah,
awkward. He looks like he looks like he's used to running with his frame.
yeah. Even what's his name? Taco, whatever his name is.
Yeah, talk about yeah.
Yeah, that dude, man, he looks like he cannot. Well, he runs, but you could tell that he's not fast at all. Like he's really,
Is he even in the league?
yeah, he's just not. I forgot what team he's on now. He's just not in the rotation. From
Yeah,
what I've gathered.
but yeah, this guy's gonna be a generational talent.
Okay, so okay, but when you say generational talent, you talking about LeBron James and Kevin Garnett, Kobe Bryant type of. Is that what you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm not saying he's gonna be that guy, but like, I mean, you have a guy who can do all he does for at 7'5". You know how much of an advantage that is.
That's very interesting because we just got because they were saying the same thing about Zion, and he was drafted, and how long ago now? What, 3 years ago?
Well, yeah, but the thing with Zion is that he was just such a freak, and we all knew about him from when he was in high school. Like, he was just a freak, but he wasn't. He's not this.
Well, but they did say that Zion was supposed to be that next guy on the come up. Like he was supposed to be the next. Well, they
Yeah,
didn't.
next megastar. Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. Like he was supposed to be that next megastar. Like how they said about LeBron and about Kobe and Kevin. Well, not so much Kevin Durant. I mean Kevin Garnett.
Hmm.
But yeah, but even maybe you could mention Kevin Durant as well, but it was mainly LeBron, the Kobe and et cetera. But if I don't know if he's going to be the same as that, as far as LeBron James. I mean, I don't know.
Hmm.
I mean, I honestly don't know. People were saying the exact same thing with Zion, and look what's been happening with him. You had the guy who was drafted second round surpassed you now. So I don't want to jump. I don't want to.
You say that, but yet he's been excellent his first couple of games, and he's been excellent since he's been in the league. The only problem with him has been health. That's it.
Yeah, but because of that, I'm still sticking with my original position. Was that I like what Jean Morant has been doing, and I think Jean Morant has surpassed Zion.
All right, that's fine, but Zion's worth the hype because of how good he is, and the goal is for Victor a generational talent.
No, 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 no. I'm not. I know. I did. All I'm saying is, I just don't want to go all, ubu gaga and all crazy like he's the
Yeah, yeah,
next,
yeah.
LeBron James. I'm going to wait. I'm just going to wait a little while because I've been disappointed, with Zion. Because remember, like I just said, what happened with Zion was he just got drafted recently. This is not something like because after LeBron James, after we got LeBron James, who do we have that was generational? Nobody else.
I
In
mean,
fact,
the guy who we were talking about before he got to the league.
right.
Um,
We didn't have anybody else.
after LeBron,
Yeah.
I mean Zion.
Yeah, exactly. There wasn't after well, with the exception of Zion, we didn't have anybody else. But look how long it took before we finally have a generational talent. With Zion and with this guy, like it's only just been a couple years. It's only been a few years. So although I think this is very good for the league, that because we usually when we have a generational talent, it would probably take maybe a decade till we get the next guy.
Uh-huh.
But with this one, I think it's very special. I do think it's very special. But I'm just going to wait because injuries and things of that nature.
Of
So
course.
we'll see. So we'll see. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna look at more highlights of him because apparently he's the only one that everybody's talking about and nobody else.
I mean, there's other guys too, but he's the main one.
Yeah.
He's the main one. But anyway, back to the topic. I mean, look, Silver. He already said that he wanted to do like in season tournaments and stuff like that.
Stupid.
I mean, I just don't know how I don't know how he's gonna make it work. I don't understand that. I don't understand how he's gonna make it work in an 82 game season. Like and they do that in Europe. They have in game tournaments in Europe too. But they only play each other, at least in the Premier League, they play each other twice a year, so they have 38 games in the whole
So
year.
are you talking about the basketball in Europe? They have tournaments.
Yeah, I think in basketball, yeah, they do the same thing. They have in season tournaments.
Oh, in season tournaments. In
Mm-hmm.
season. Okay, so within the season they have tournaments,
Mm-hmm.
and but what do you get like anything special for winning that tournament?
They get a trophy.
Okay, but when you get that trophy, the main championship you could, I mean, you still have the championship that you have to compete with and to
Yeah,
compete against, right?
yeah, the main league title. Yeah,
So yeah, to me that it's a waste of time. If you
I
still
I, I would like to see how he implements it, but like, is it really going? If you have an 82 game, you're going to do end game tournaments in an 82 game season. Makes no sense to me, and you're going to incorporate those games in the regular season. Like, let's say, because always look, the owners are not going to agree to less games. They're not going to do that.
yeah.
And so, if you decide to put the 82 games in the tournament, whatever, and make it part of the tournament, that makes no sense to me.
Hmm.
That makes no sense to me. So I don't know how they're going to do it. But like I said, he's used other like stuff from Europe before. So when he mentioned regulation, I knew it wasn't gonna pass, but I figured that he was just trying to throw stuff out there.
Yeah,
So
it's clear that he was just trying to prevent teams from tanking,
yeah,
and but that's not feasible. That's just not going to work, especially when you have someone who will automatically elevate your team and could dismantle other teams. Then no, that's just not going to work. Unless you could figure out some other system that will prevent them from tanking, it's just not going to work. I don't see it.
yeah.
I really don't.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't really have much else to say about this. So
No, I'm pretty much done. Like I'm watching the Bears and New England, and I'm surprisingly the Bears are winning. So
well, what happened to Mac Jones? I thought he was playing.
no, I'm not really. No, I don't know.
I guess we'll figure it out. Anyways, on that note, that's it for the show. Let me do a
Yep.
roll call here. Ruben, thank you for watching. Hold on a second, let me get this thing going. Nolan, thank you for watching. F, thank you for watching. Rosemai, thank you for watching. Devil Shooter, thank you for watching. F, thank you for watching. Conspiracy Agent Malta, thank you guys for watching. I gotta go fix my Twitter account now, so let me
Yeah,
go.
you do that. I'm gonna watch this game, and I don't know if I feel like it. I'll probably go work out. I don't know, but other than that, I really appreciate you all. I mean, it was definitely it definitely got a little heated with Wilder. I think there was slightly maybe a misunderstanding, or I wasn't clear, but the one after that was definitely heated. But it's all fun in games. Once again, I appreciate you guys joining this podcast. Please, when you get a chance, well, this is going to be Hoovy's channel for now. So
Yeah.
like his stuff, subscribe to his stuff, and share his stuff. And hopefully, after that, is there any update with the what do you call it, with the
On the channel, no, just gotta wait the 90 days.
okay? So even though you made the appeal, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
90 days.
All right, 90 days it is, but we're still going to be up and running, guys. We're still going to be doing this every Monday, and we're looking forward to seeing you all next Monday. This is the Traditionalist 101 signing out. Have a good one.
We'll be winning six. We out.